behind you, good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open, you'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and let the dark stories your ear. Cause we're talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome to talk the tavern. Promising beer and bedlam. To talk the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. To talk the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
And welcome to Monday, October 15th episode of Talk of the Tavern, weighing in, which is either us talking about dieting or just giving a bunch of opinions of ours. We'll figure it out.
Or opinions on dieting.
I mean, we could give opinions on diet, and we could start with that, work from there. Okay, I am Travis Sivart. I'm your host. Tonight, my vices are kind of lame. Coke Zero. And depending on Andrea...
I like to weigh in on the Coke Zero. It sucks.
Only if I put it in my pants. And I may smoke a pipe, but it's the autumn evening.
Oh, okay.
But I've got the window open with the fan, so we'll see. It might get cloudy, and she might be like, "Stop that!" And I'll be like,
What?
"Right, see, like role reversal." So speaking of people, let me introduce you to Andrea first.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I have tea. Sweet tea.
Ed's got one of those too. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, he does.
Is that all you got? Do you want to tell me?
Oh,
who
I
you are?
ate all my cupcakes already.
You want to tell me who you are?
You already told me who I was.
Well, I don't know. If you want to talk about your channel?
No, I don't.
No, okay. We're going to move on then.
Yeah.
Because somebody has shit to say.
Mm-hmm. Where's Kevin?
Ed?
Oh, that's funny.
And to be clear, I'm not talking to the white Ed.
10%.
So, Ed, what do you got tonight? Got a mute button?
Yeah. Ginger ale.
Really?
Yeah.
That's that's it?
We have to go to work.
Doesn't mean I'm
Then
not.
you know me. I'll probably give it halfway through the show and run downstairs and grab a drink. But
I just wonder why you don't just fucking start with the drink and go from there. I don't know. Okay, and then last but not least, let's introduce our good friend sitting in for Elizabeth because they look exactly alike, John Millington.
I noticed.
Perhaps. I'm John, Conquest Comics, and Jersey's Cards and Comics. So
There we go.
glad to be here for tonight.
He does it all. We're glad you're here too. Damn it. Well,
And since everybody's glad we're here, go down below that video and hit that share button. I just did.
you know what else? I can tell them all about the other stuff since it's the top of the hour. Why
Go
not?
for it.
That way we give time for people to pile in. By the way, everybody, too, please chime in. Let us know what your vices are tonight and where you are, who you're with. But after you do that share button, don't forget to follow us on Discord or on the newsletter so you can keep up with us. But most importantly, keep those notifications on because we do stream almost every day. And it's a variety channel with all kinds of crap that goes on. I'm hoping we have a few of our newer folks here with us to support the tavern. Yeah, I know that. I've had a few good folks show up over the past week, and I'm hoping to see them tonight. I always mention this show. To support the tavern, you could donate by tipping the tavern below. Also, you could throw bits or subscribe, which you could do both of those. Oh, wow, Ed, thank you so much. You have now just overtaken the Bob.
Oh.
That's right.
That's all you were worried about.
Bob is slacking.
It's a. But anyhow, yes, by just like Ed did, and also you can do that for free by watching ads. You can subscribe with Amazon Prime at no cost to you, or you could do it with a couple bucks out of your pocket and help us out. Don't forget about Patreon and merchandise and all that good stuff. Other than that, when we're not here, my brother listens to us on iHeartRadio, other people on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Spreakers, Stitcher, Overcast, and so on. Okay.
And if you're a letter writer or want to send postcards like Jamin does, the address is down below. Right?
Actually, you know what I'd love to have people do? When you guys go to your favorite pub or tavern, grab a coaster, grab a printed napkin, Grab whatever you want. Put it in an
A
envelope.
6-pack or a couple liters of something. Also, you could throw in there for me. That's fine.
Send me a waitress,
Only if she's gonna clean the house.
a beer maid.
There we go.
I have a
Yeah, you're
nice,
close.
comfortable store. She doesn't have to be at the house.
Well, why can't she be at both? I mean, why should I let you
Well-
have all the beer?
There you go.
That's all I'm worried about. But yeah, if you want to send us a little something to let us know where you like to go and what you like to do, there is a P.O. box down below. And I think that's good. I think we're ready to talk about Ed. You've been gone like 3 months. What's been going
It
on?
feels like it. It feels like it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kevin
just
returned last week, by the way, before you start.
Because-
And,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
and
Oh,
like
shit.
5 people we hadn't seen in weeks showed up.
Victoria
Was he
showed
in
up.
here?
No, haven't
I
seen
have
him.
not heard from him in a long time.
It could be because we're not on Facebook. He thinks we all hate him, but I hope.
Well, I dropped him a note on there even. No response. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks or so.
Shit, I'm gonna say he's been on here since Andrew and I quit Facebook. Ian Mack.
I think so. What?
Just trying to figure out what position he was
He's
in when he
cleaning
was
his
licking.
toes.
We have a hobo in the living
But
room.
see, when Kevin came back, Victoria mysteriously showed up. So one or the other was holding the other one hostage.
Yeah. We figure there's some bondage and a basement involved somewhere in that situation.
Mm.
On a trolley.
What's that, John?
Possibly on a trolley.
It could have been.
Who
Could have been.
knows?
Though for a trolley for them, for the Brits, would be different for the trolley for us.
Indeed.
Don't judge.
So Ed, what's been going on for 2 weeks? How you been?
I just work. Had a class for work. That's it, mainly.
Had a class for.
Get my license back because I let it expire. So, security license. So,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Good times.
that's been it.
Oh, that's very exciting. It's,
Yeah.
no new news on job fronts otherwise.
Nah, nothing.
Is your poor
Same
wife
shit,
going
different
stir
day.
crazy at home,
Yeah,
wanting to go
Yeah,
out
she-
and do stuff?
we're out of money, so she can't work on stuff no more. So
What happened?
she can't build anything anymore because
Oh,
no more money. So.
Oh no. We're gonna have to start a woodworking fund for your wife so she can keep busy.
Yeah.
All the
What does she
guys,
build?
send her your wood.
what did she build?
Like all their kitchen cabinets and furniture and
Oh, well, I mean, what does she need? I
Ah.
should say.
Wood.
Nothing.
Lowe's gift cards or Home
Oh, that
Depot
would make
gift
her a very happy person.
cards. We'll keep that in mind. As
So Lowe's or Home Depot?
which one is better for you, Lowe's or Home Depot?
We have a Lowe's 6 miles away.
So Lowe's then.
Hmm.
Okay. Because I just making sure the next statement is, but we have a Home Depot too.
Yeah, but see, we don't. But I work at Lowe's, so that could probably be a possibility.
You never know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what she's going to do with $2.73, but I'm sure she'll find something.
Oh, yeah.
What, John?
Nothing. I didn't say
Okay.
anything.
I heard it.
He was not talking to you.
Fine, be that way.
That could be the guys in the back.
It could be. It could be. It just I'm unsure about your mic. When I look down and hear a distant voice, I want to make sure I'm not talking over you or ignoring you.
He's trying to talk.
He's trying to talk shit. So he just
No,
said.
you. Zip it.
This will be a quiet show.
I had my mute button on for an hour earlier when I was streaming.
That was really.
Yeah.
It was during World of Warcraft. I said, somebody asked, were you a pawn shop or something? I said, wonder why he's not saying something.
I did.
He was. He was talking
Yeah,
a lot, and I'm like,
I did
Oh.
answer, and my first answer is no. This is my home, and why would you think it's a pawn shop? Did you need to buy something? And then I thought, oh man, a much better answer would be no. This isn't a pawn shop, or no, I'm not inside a pawn shop, but I was inside your mom last night, and I paid her $20 for something that was
and
pretty
nobody
used
heard
too.
that.
Ah, the
Hey,
20 bucks
Dave.
is 20 bucks.
That's right. Oh, is that Des? Des! Professional streamer, by the way. Are you Des? Congratulations.
I think he's talking about you.
Well,
And you're on mute.
because I mute myself, yeah.
And we point and laugh. I would have pointed and laughed if I'd known.
But the thing is, I didn't actually lose viewers by not talking. That should tell us
He
something.
gained some.
Oops.
Ed,
We just
Ed,
thought you were enraptured with craft.
it happens sometimes. There's other times where I'm sitting here playing the game for an hour and I forget to put it up on the screen. So
And
it's
it's
just
just-
me staring at my computer and
I
mumbling
watched
stuff.
one day and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Playing a game? Where's the game? People were watching him stare. So funny. Staring contest.
Yeah.
Wait till he plays it for 2 years solid, like some of those people. Can only drool.
Let's see if I can adjust his sound a little. Hold on, guys.
I don't know if that still happens anymore. If people are that enraptured with an MMO that they, don't live after they play it for a while.
You know, I'm always okay when I hear people like that passed on because I'm like, well, you know what? It's kind of like the person who, can't leave their house to go get food. Well,
Sometimes just people
Nature
have
takes
an
care
issue.
of it.
They can't leave.
well, it's,
I don't want to leave sometimes.
oh, I don't want to leave most of the time, but I do.
Oh.
What?
Kevin said that
Kevin.
heavy fog delayed his bus wanking. He's just got in. Heavy fog delayed bus wankering. Should be good to go in about 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll bring him in then.
Wanking on bus.
Now, John, what about you? What went on with you the past 7 days?
Well, we are hopefully going to finish up the back video work. Everything's painted out. 2 of the computer systems are up and working properly, so happy with that. My friend's going to bring in retro video games and stuff on the side.
Like Pitfall?
So that should be. I just met a couple that are making custom dice towers, which are pretty nice. They're going to put them in the stores. So that's. And we're planning for an anime and gaming convention next spring, the library. So
Now, is it worth
things are
picking
moving
up
along
your?
pretty well.
Is it worth picking up the camera and turning it around to show us what the progress is, or is it not worth
Oh,
it yet?
yeah.
If
Let's
you want
see.
to, yeah, well, let's
I'm
check
making
it out.
him work tonight.
I am. Like, move this, lug that, tote that
Ah!
bale. Oh, look at that. Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Nice.
Very
Looking
nice.
good, man.
What up, Bob?
I'll
Bob,
be right back at the ice tower so you guys can get there.
is he skipping out for anybody else, Matt? Yep, I'm guessing so. I think he just froze.
Well, at least it froze on his shirt graphic.
There we go. I
Hi,
think he had to
Towie.
step away.
I was watching your stream. I love your hair. Oh my god. So pretty. Are we
She does, she did.
broken?
I don't know, maybe. Ed?
Mm.
Okay.
Oh no, he was just very still.
We weren't
He's
sure.
like,
Nobody was
if I'm
moving.
still, they won't see me.
It's the camo shirt. Uh-oh. He's got dice
Oh.
tower. Nice. Nice. She likes her hair now, too.
I know, it's so pretty. Oh my god.
I can make the words bigger if you need them bigger, Andrea. Bob, so you don't get
I'm watching
confused. The one on the bottom left is White Ed, and the one on the bottom right is Black Ed. I don't want you to mix them up there, Bob.
Oh.
So, I should say the one on the black shirt is White Ed, and the one on the black and white shirt is Black Ed.
I got the extra crotches.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
If you see 3 dicks,
Wow.
that's White Ed. And White Ed's name is John.
He's just trying
So
to
what
add up
did you
to
bring
it.
a dice tower there? Let me see that.
Oh, did you make that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, couples making.
I like it.
That's nice.
I don't have a use for a dice rolling tower, but I like them. What I miss?
They
Toby says,
tend to be a bit annoying, but
oh,
for $39.99, I mean, it's a pretty nice handcrafted, nice looking. So, I mean, it's $20 for one of those stupid plastic ones that you put together. So
Toey,
we'll give it a
Toey
whirl.
says, which one is special ed?
That would be me, and there's actually a story there.
That will be Kevin.
There-
He'll be on in a little bit.
There is. While we're waiting for Kevin, do you want to tell the story about special ed, Ed?
Yeah, my wife, before we were even married, when I got placed at her site working security way back in the day, I hated it there. Did not want to be there. So they decided, as a joke, they will paint. They had a little white shop van. They would paint the little white shop van yellow for special ed,
No.
and they did. They did.
It's awesome when you're special enough that they will fuck up company property just to tease you. That's pretty awesome. Making sure I'm not crushing the kitty's tail as I try to move.
Did you get to test out how well people bounced inside of it after they were done with their job?
Nope, never even rode in a damn thing.
That shows them.
So Bob spent all weekend on a lake, but didn't take his boat out because he was too chilly and his nipples were hard.
Veronica?
Could be. It's we can weigh in on our opinions about her in a little while.
What?
I don't know Veronica Lake. I have to Google her. I don't know who she is, but I recognize the name from something.
I know who Ricky
I think
is.
I think she might be past now. She's
Is she no longer relevant? Is she from the Archie comics?
No.
well, Veronica Lake,
Actress.
the hairstyle that goes down across your eye and stuff. She that into
Yeah, actress.
Yeah, that's a Toei
An old
favorite
actress.
Well, since Veronica Lake is gone, what about Ricky Lake?
I don't know if she's around it either.
What about-
She's from Chicago?
I don't know.
What about Lake Titicaca?
Ah,
I hate to see it when it's chilly.
no swimming in there. Is it?
My God, this is just. It's our opinion, folks.
When I was in high school, we had a song that mentioned Lake Titicaca, and that broke the classroom for 5 or 10 minutes when we hit that lyric the first time.
I'm getting,
As it should, no matter how old you are.
I'm getting the cat.
So is that smoke doing okay? It's not bugging you too much? Okay.
Folks, you more than me. Shush.
So we're treading water here until Kevin shows on and I get to rearrange the whole screen. It's it's a horrible time to have to tread water because none of you guys are very talkative folks here.
Are we treading because of Lake Victoria?
It could be Lake
I
Veronica,
don't know.
Titicaca,
Oh, I don't know what. Oh my gosh!
Victoria.
I ate cupcakes. Now I'm sleepy.
Watching a scary white people movie tonight, Exorcist.
Oh, I thought you meant Talk at the Tavern. Same thing.
That movie tends to, at least through customers, say it still creeps them out, and I never understood why people was as scary as it was.
Because it's close to something that could happen.
Heads from what's close to something that could happen?
Because I think it's scary to a lot of people because they believe it could happen because exorcism in the Catholic Church, it puts it real for them.
Out of all the crazy crap that can happen, that's closer to reality than a lot of the other stuff. Now for me, I first saw it when I was 12, and I saw the cut up version for TV. I might have been younger, I might have been 9. But yeah, it scared me at that age because slasher flicks never bothered me. They never scared me, etc., etc. But the supernatural stuff did because it's something that's intangible that I can't put my hand up. Okay, hold on, time to rearrange the screen.
It's the
What
white
up, my
guy.
brother?
What is up? How you doing,
What's
guys?
down?
I don't know. I don't know what's up, down, inside out. I don't care either.
We're happy that you're one of those two directions.
Yeah, I'm multi-directional tonight.
He's two direction.
Talented.
Oh, how is everyone?
Well, we're better now that you're here, mister.
Oh, you lying bastard, but thank you.
For you, I'll lie down anywhere.
Oh, bless you. Don't mention lying down. There's a very real chance I might actually fall asleep in the middle of this video call, in which case just quietly cut me off and cut me to one side.
We don't cut you off when you're awake. We're not going to cut you off when you're asleep.
Fine,
We'll
okay.
point and
Just,
laugh.
yeah,
Do we have
hope
to
we
yell-
hope-
Do we have to yell timber when you do fall?
Probably.
possibly. If a Kev falls over and there's no one there to hear it, does it still make a noise?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask, does anybody give a damn?
No, we know no one gives a shit.
We give a shit because of the comedy value of such an act.
It's a sight to behold. A very good friend of mine once said that I don't get up from furniture, I unfold.
You do. I've seen it.
Look, I just put this
Yep.
right here, and we'll never see him talk the whole night.
Don't put that there.
I put the name right across the bottom, like 8% of the screen, and that's right where your mouth is.
So nothing has changed in that all anyone can see now is my forehead.
Well,
You're
it's, it's much clearer now, though. You can see the lines in
Okay.
it, not just a shine. Oh, thank you there for that 101, Bob. And
Oh, that's a bitch move right there.
Bitch.
okay, now that we've got all this up, I think I can happily just minimize this down to this so we can see what's going on. Kevin, how are you? What's been going on since last week?
Oh man, it's more of the same, buddy. Still working stupid hours.
Nothing new?
Nearly there. About another week to go till the new holding manager comes in. So
But then
I've reached the point where I'm physically and mentally exhausted. I'm literally just I'm holding my hand up to it. I'm going in every day, and I'm just treading water until they get here now.
You're either a better man than me or significantly more stupid than me. I don't know which
He's too
one.
tired
I
to
think
fight.
probably an equal mix of the two.
Could be. It's because, yeah, I would have been like, no. I want bonus every week, and I want paid, I don't know.
If I was salaried, I'm not sure I would have carried on for this long. But the fools are still paying me by the hours.
Now, when this person gets in, are they going to send them away on 3 weeks of training?
No.
or have them quit at the end?
What they do.
This will be not like the last guy was doing all that because he was brand new to the company. The holding manager who's coming in has actually been the assistant manager at our nearest sister pub here on the island, so she's fully
So
trained already. So
they
no
won't-
need for her to go anywhere.
They won't promote you till you work for them for 3 years, but they'll bring somebody brand new from the outside. Is that what you just told me?
Yes,
That's bullshit. But you ended up
Because-
doing their job anyway. What the hell?
because the other guy the guy who was new to the company was a general manager for a different pub chain for close to 30 years and was on a salary of something ridiculous like 65k before he came to us. So he had a proven track record of knowing what the fuck he was doing. The reason he had to go away for the training was he didn't have to use any of our office systems.
But
that
you
was
think
what he was
he's
being
gone
trained
now?
on.
He quit because with 30 years experience, you realize bullshit
Well,
when you smell bullshit.
the rumor mill has finally been grinding this week, and I found out what happened to him. He didn't quit; he was fired
For having sex
on the
with
on
who?
the last day of his training.
For
I can't give you full details, or at least not now. I'll be more than happy to tell you full details off air. But in the sake of protecting the sanctity of my own job, let's just say that he drew somebody's attention to something very publicly that spoiled a year-long undercover investigation into a high-ranking member of our company.
That's great. That's great.
Oh,
Yes. What?
they changed my schedule again. I don't have to go until 10 tomorrow. Yes.
What
Okay.
was it?
It was earlier, but now
Oh, okay. Was it 9:45 or before?
no. But now I could play.
She will fucking celebrate 15 minutes. Don't get her.
I
15 minutes is
feel
15
that.
minutes.
I'll say, yeah, that's it. I'll celebrate 15 seconds at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's
It's
sex
normally
for
the-
you.
Yeah, that's the average amount of time I stay conscious for when I walk in my door.
How many of us have ever actually fallen asleep during sex? I have.
I'm not going to
Uh,
answer that.
I can't say I've ever fallen asleep per se. There's a definite chance I may have once passed out drunk. I'm not sure if that qualifies as the same thing.
There
I
was
did
one-
one worse. I fell asleep on a motorcycle.
Oh,
Wow.
I have not done that.
Yeah.
I imagine it's not something you do very often.
And Highway Patrol right next to me and pointed me to exit rapidly. So I had to get back to the ship, and we were already delayed because I had to take a weather detour and stuff. And the cop said, "Look, I'm not giving you a ticket, but you're not going anywhere until you at least take a nap." I said, "All right."
Can I use your back seat, sir?
Yeah.
It's yeah, the time I fell asleep, I guess I was 21 or 22, and I was working like 3 jobs, or 2 jobs and going to college, and then I'd come home and my girlfriend at the time wouldn't cook or clean or anything, so I was doing all that, and yeah, it just didn't work out when sex on top of all that.
Mm.
And she was upset with me for it, of course. And I'm like, what the
Of course.
Where did you want me to put the feather duster? I mean, you got me cleaning and everything.
Well,
Come on.
I'm like, I stayed hard. You could have finished.
Ah.
How do you know you were sleeping?
It was only for a minute or 2. And she didn't realize it for that long till she woke me up. So, I guess things were going okay.
Were you
That's
snoring?
not a good thing, no.
Not at that age. No, at that age, I was still skinny and healthy instead of beautiful and rotund.
It's never a good thing if a woman can't tell the difference in your sexual prowess when you're conscious or unconscious.
Maybe I'm just that good when unconscious also.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah,
This is true.
well,
I'm
Way
curious.
to back up your man.
It wasn't her, so I don't know. I'm curious what she's going on about.
we never had an opening toast.
We need an opening toast. Hey, here's to toasting with non-alcoholic substances. Fuckers.
I'm in for that. I'm going to toast you with a piece of steaming broccoli.
That's right,
Oh.
it's moist.
Cheers.
Oh, I want
Cheers.
some broccoli.
Because not a single one of us have alcohol at this moment, do we?
I don't know what's in
Yeah.
his broccoli.
That's a good point. It could be tequila broccoli.
Drinking be far too much like a busman's holiday for me at the moment.
For us Americans, what's a busman's holiday?
Oh, sorry. Okay, when you do something for recreation that you do all day for work, so like a mechanic who goes home and spends all evening fixing his own car, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So you spend all day drinking?
No, I said I spend all day serving alcohol to other people who are drinking. Just anything to do with the pub trade and
Gotcha.
stuff is, my brain just switches off it at the moment. Oh, something I should mention as well. I had some bad news yesterday. Not bad news, as in like something terrible, but you guys remember the pub I used to run just down at the bottom of the hill, the King Lud?
Yeah.
They closed their doors last night.
Is that bad news, or are you kind of
Well,
laughing
the
up your
pub.
sleeve?
Regardless of the owners or my experiences with them in the last couple of months of working for them, that pub's a proper hub of this community. It's a great platform for up and coming live music bands. It's one of those places. It defies all logic. It's so small you can swing a hamster and hit all 4 walls on the way around, but it's
It
constantly
was
round
cool, though.
wall to wall.
Good atmosphere right there.
Sometimes those are the best ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was what a good old fashioned pub should be. It wasn't just somewhere you went because you wanted to get drunk. You went because of the crowd, because of the crack, because of the atmosphere, because it was a proper social hub of the community. So regardless of the reasons behind it or who it was who actually had the management of it at the time, that pub closing its doors is horrible news for this town. I'm just hoping they can find someone stupid enough. I mean, someone willing enough to take Enterprise Inn's prices on and reopen it.
So it
I
was
think they will.
a couple of comments here, real quick. Twitch is very laggy tonight, says Toey. Viewers were complaining about it in my stream also. So if you guys see it lagging, it may not be our fault this time. But let us know if there's something we see we can do to fix it. But our connection looks good here. And
Well, I'm watching Twitch and it's kind of laggy too.
Okay.
And Toey says it is. And then there's Bob.
you want to read Bob's?
Bob says, I just realized there are no people of color in the Exorcist racist demon possession. That's because, as a black man, Bob, you should know that men ain't gonna stand for that shit.
Then leave the fucking house. Unlike white people, are like, no, we could stick it out just a little bit longer, honey.
Do you guys see the meme I posted the other day? That was the picture of her from the original film with the caption, "Your mother cooks socks in hell," and then underneath it says "the dyslexicist."
Not if you post it on Facebook.
Of course, yeah, you guys aren't on there anymore.
Nah, you'd have to put it on Instagram.
No, but that's funny as shit. This is why we have Discords. Go ahead and put it on Discord. Discord.
Put it in the comments.
You know what?
Discord.
It's only when you guys message me I remember I have Discord, and then every time I do, I think, shit, yeah, I've got loads of other friends who use this, who are constantly saying to me, man, you should just be on Discord all the time, and then I forget again.
And by the
This is
way,
not.
Maybe in a week when the other person is there, you'll get your little bit of your brain back.
It will make a difference. It's become quite noticeable, especially in the last couple of weeks. I mean, my endurance is not what it was when I was a young man, and I've very much got to the point where I'm literally eat, sleep, work, repeat.
Gotcha.
I'm focused.
Ed,
lack of concentration.
Are you working
even when
more
I'm
than
off work.
40?
Mhm.
Ed, are you working more than 40 now?
I work 48 now.
Okay. Now, Bob, I know, or Bob,
Oh my god.
John, I know you work. You're at the store doing things for a store like 60 hours a week.
He works like 500
But you've
hours.
claimed you love it, so it's not
Of
like
course.
work for you.
No.
So, I just want to chime that in for your sake, going, yes, I know you work a ton too, but you enjoy what you do, and you do it on purpose because you want to, not because you have.
Oh yeah.
See, I normally enjoy it. It's not a trade that you spend a lot of time working in if you don't genuinely enjoy the job. It's just this stupid situation that's been going on for the last couple of months now. I was fine, even then I was fine with it because it was a new challenge and I like something I can get my teeth into. So I was happy, even though it was hitting me hard, I was pleased because it gave me, something to get up for, something to look forward to taking on head on every day. It's just the duration of it. And the fact that I keep thinking as well 3 or 4 times in that period that, now something's going to happen and this is going to be the end of it. And then some other bollocks has happened and it's, no, you've got to go and keep doing this for another few weeks. It's kind of building up your hopes that you're almost there and then dashing them again. And I've just reached the grumpy old bastard stage now.
Welcome to this side of the fence. Now get the fuck off my lawn. By the way, I did want to say to Bob regarding The Exorcist, I do want to point out that her soul was as black as soot, so it wasn't all racist.
And as for people of colour, that priest definitely goes green at one point.
Wasn't he Italian? So isn't that like, the colored people of Europe?
Sure.
Yeah. Well,
No.
No, I tell
if you were
people...
if we were still in the 1970s, yeah, if you want to be up to date racially intolerant, you should be looking further towards the Eastern Bloc these days.
Okay, see, I tell people the Irish, when I worked at the Mexican restaurant, they're like, are you Mexican? I'm like, no, I'm Irish. We're like the Mexicans of Europe. So, I am willing to spread the racism around and shift it around to where it fits better.
Equal opportunities racism.
Something like that. I don't know. I just try to
I'm
pick
just
up...
willing to spread it around. I don't care about the other one.
I need a drink.
So how you doing, Ed?
Doing all right, man. Trying to stay awake.
How's the job going?
Not putting in as many hours as you, but it's the time of day, 1:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. I can't really get a decent fucking sleep schedule.
Yeah, I imagine that's tricky.
What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to set up a 5 a.m. show. That's when Kevin wakes up because it's 10 a.m. his time, and Ed will be on his lunch break, and we'll just do a 1-hour show at 5 a.m. Eastern time.
I'd be up for that. I can go and hide in the office, plug my phone in.
What, John?
Tavern update.
Yeah.
I think I could actually I would be broadcasting from a tavern.
You.
Does seem ironic I'm spending so many hours in a tavern, yet the only time I'm on a show called Talk of the Tavern is when I get away from work.
When you're at home, yeah.
Yeah,
That's funny.
and have no booze.
Speaking of boobs, you should see what Andrea's wearing today.
Boobs, not boobs.
Well, he has no
What is
boobs
she
either.
wearing?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Go with what Travis was saying.
Yeah, what is she wearing?
Here, Andrea, can you
Oh.
stand over here for us?
All eyes on you, darling.
Over
Over
here.
here?
Yeah.
I didn't want to wear pants today, that's all.
She didn't want to wear pants, so and I'm going to make sure you're visible on the camera here.
I can't see shit.
You can't see shit.
Oh, yes.
But I
Doesn't
got
she
my
look cute?
little
Look at the
knee-high
legs.
socks.
Here, put
Oh,
it here.
yeah.
I'll
No,
hold your hand so you can.
Mm.
just because it's a little cold, I didn't want to wear pants.
Isn't she
I
adorable?
had a corset belt on earlier, but
I'm awake now. Everything's standing tall.
is that why the camera just went bloop?
Mm-hmm.
It's on a different tripod now.
Where's my $20?
What? $20 with inflation? It's $8.72.
What the hell?
Well, the dollar's decreased in value.
Horrible.
I'm going to mute myself for a second while I eat some of my dinner before it goes cold.
Is that slang for what Ed was just talking about?
No, I'm genuinely, yeah. If you see me going like this, I'm eating my dinner. Damn, that's meaty.
We don't have to worry about seeing him chew because usually he's leaning down towards his computer anyway, and he
You shouldn't
can't
chew
see
it.
his mouth. Uh-oh.
Oh, Bob says 5 a.m. is dedicated to porn, so a no-go for Black Bob.
Isn't that like an Old West villain? I heard Black Bob is in town.
It's fine, Bob. I'm on my lunch break in the office. I can crack one off if it makes you happy.
I mean, what do you think we're going to do on Talk of the Tavern at 5 a.m. anyway?
Who knows?
So, in other words, Bob, you're getting ready for work at 5 a.m.
It's best
Yeah,
if he
he
does
is.
one of those before he goes into work. There's less likely to be charges against him once he's there.
Black Bob has a new highlight reel. Is it Kevin?
Nice. It's So what's been going on in current events in the world lately? Anything?
Who cares?
There's a new show on Netflix.
There is. Well, I was telling Ed earlier that Andrea and I started watching Disenchanted, which is by Matt Groening, who makes The Simpsons. And
Then this other show.
we'll get to that in a second.
But I don't.
I know you liked it. You enjoyed it. You giggled. It's cute. It's medieval fantasy
Oh,
and
it's
inappropriate, and the fairies are swearing and the elves are cussing, and it's good stuff. It's like Simpsons done right.
It's like a mix of Simpsons and Talk of the Tavern.
It is. It is. So did you want to tell them about the other show?
There's this other show, and it's inappropriate. And God, who was it now?
You want me
that
to
did
describe? McConnell?
But
it? Who?
You talking?
No, it was done by Jim Henson's son,
Brian Henson does the animatronics and puppetry in it.
and it is.
Or it's executive produced by him, I should say.
I'm getting the name of it because I forgot. It's The Curious Creations of Christine McConnell.
So, it's a baking show, how to make different, very cool desserts, very intricate desserts. But
Kirk
then
was
it's-
watching this the other night. He posted something about it. I remember seeing him post on Facebook about
Who
it.
did?
Kirk,
Okay.
my best mate.
Well, it's they interweave the short cooking sessions with Andrea LeChant legs, with that's the Black Bob reel, highlight reel,
Uh,
with basically puppetry of a roadkill fat raccoon,
It's very inappropriate with the garden gnome of the neighbor.
Yeah, apparently this female raccoon goes out and has sex with neighborhood dogs and the neighborhood
No.
statuary. There's a mummified cat from ancient Egypt, and there's a werewolf-like creature, and they all swear and try to murder people. And then it breaks in with, like, here's how to make chocolate pretzel dog bones.
Well, and the thing is, it's funny because she'll sit there and she's like, first you want to do this and this, and they're like, who is she talking to?
Yeah, because she'll talk to the camera, and the puppets are like,
So funny.
who else is here?
We only saw the first 2 episodes, but it's cute. I like it.
That's our current events, guys. We're done.
I just have Netflix. I have no life.
So
Did we talk Mandalorian while I was gone?
did I what?
Did we talk about Mandalorian while I was gone?
As in the Star Wars
Yeah,
Race of Warriors? What happened with the Mandalorians?
that's going to be their new show,
Oh.
coming out on the Star Wars channel or Disney Channel.
Animated or
Show.
live action?
It's going to be live action called The Mandalorian. It is not about Boba Fett. And I can't remember the exact time period. I believe before A New Hope. I believe. I can't remember exactly.
Oh, that'll be good then.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scope for storyline there as well, because there's a lot in the extended universe novels about the Mandalorians that expands on them an awful lot. So that's, yeah, I can look forward to that. I'd be interested to see what they do with it.
Well, looking forward to it might be more difficult if they're only playing it on the new Disney channel where they're doing all their Marvel stuff, Star Wars stuff. And, you know, are we gonna pay an extra $10 to $20, $5 to $20 a month, whatever? Anybody know what they're charging yet?
All I've heard thus far is it will be less than Netflix. What is Netflix now?
12 to 15, something in
Okay.
that range.
That's all I've heard so far. It's supposed to be less than Netflix.
It depends on which plan you get.
Well, there's nothing below 10 or 10 or below. They're all above
Yeah.
that now. So I'm guessing it'll be $10 a month. I still, maybe.
I definitely need to drop my satellite TV.
Yeah, we just watch Hulu, Amazon Prime, and Netflix.
Still cheaper.
The price has got ridiculous for it these days, especially when you consider, for example, like you say, what the cost of a subscription to Netflix is. I get my phone line that I don't use and my internet through the same company. And you have 4 of those 6 packages. Don't bother with the movies because I'm not home often to watch enough of them to merit paying extra for movies, and I'm not that interested in many sports, so I don't bother with the sports channels. But I have all the other stuff, and it's costing me 65 quid a month.
It's a regular cable, not including the phone or internet or anything, is probably between that and $150 a month. You know, depending how many channels you want and if you want HBO, etc. I think for everything you're paying about $250 a month if you want all the movie channels. Guys, was that about right? Because I haven't priced it recently. Ed, John?
I know that they pay $175, so
Okay.
at our house.
Yeah, I think it's in this area. It's about $180. That's including phone, internet, cable, and I think it's 2 premium channels.
Well,
No, that's all in that package. If you don't want the premium channels, then you got to take some different package altogether. It's crazy. Yeah.
well, and Amazon is like around $100 a year, and you get all the extra perks, like being able to subscribe to the Twitch channel at no cost to you. But
Nice plug.
Well done, yeah.
But then you got even if you get Hulu and Netflix, it's still less than $30 a month. And if you pay that, and if you want to pay the Amazon thing by the month, that's usually what, $6, $8 a month. Still cheaper.
Yeah, you're paying $30 a month for all three of them with unlimited, and that's Hulu with no commercials. Which, my worst complaint about Hulu is the shows stream fine. The commercials freeze up
I don't mind the commercials. I'd like to watch them.
2 to 3 times for 5 seconds to 30 seconds. I'm going to do a blanket. Thank you when you're done. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Toei says, I love my Drama Fever streaming service for Korean, Chinese, etc. shows. $4.99 a month when I buy the whole year at once.
Nice.
Nice.
Now, what kind of shows are those, Win?
Is it like manga?
Well, is it manga and anime? It's hentai. It's got to be hentai.
Well, that's worth
But
$4.99
it could
a
be
month.
the game shows, because they have some crazy
God,
game
those
shows.
Are funny as hell.
Or it could be cooking shows. Ooh, can you imagine Asian cooking shows?
These Korean meatballs really are the dog's bollocks.
Spag balls at their best.
Ew.
But it has a pretty-
Yep. That's the spag balls.
Oh,
Excuse me.
you okay there, Kev?
Yeah. Yeah, trying to nearly choked trying to surreptitiously eat my dinner.
Yeah, don't be surreptitious about it. You're fine, man.
It's very nice.
Good. No, is this something you cooked or
Props to my wife for cooking. No, my wife cooked.
There you go.
I get marks for competently operating the microwave.
Which is a bonus challenge for us here now.
Cause streaming, yeah.
Because the microwave will interfere with our hotspot.
Oh, okay.
So whenever we're streaming, we're like, we might take a break. It says the microwave is being used.
I try not to use it that much.
No, we both try not to, but there's sometimes, the bottom line is eating dinner is a little more important than the stream not losing connectivity for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So we've got
In
10...
case anyone's wondering, by the way, it's very nice cottage pie I'm enjoying this evening.
Oh, now, tell us a little bit about cottage pie. Because we were discussing shepherd's pie earlier today.
We've had it.
Oh, really? So essentially, exactly the same thing, but a shepherd's pie generally just tends to be, I don't know how you guys do it. Here, with shepherd's pie would generally be just the mince and some onion and gravy. Cottage pie has diced carrot in as well, and is beef, not lamb.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think Em made it when we were there.
I think so. I
It was
think we
very
liked it
good.
a lot.
Probably.
I think I had 2 helpings, and she's like, you want more? And I'm like, well, no. And she's like, if you want more, say you want more. I'm like, I really want more.
Mm.
I just don't want to be like, a fat, piggish American going, feed me more.
No, we always do that. It's a standard tactic in this house. We always make bigger meals than we're going to eat in one sitting, because then there's always enough for if unexpected guests, or if you happen to be particularly hungry, you don't have to worry about helping yourself. And anything that's left over, we portion it up and freeze it for moments like when I'm coming in at 1 o'clock in the morning. So instead of eating shit out of a packet,
Yeah.
microwaving proper homemade food.
By the way, Toei answered, says, no anime, it's historical drama, supernatural fantasy, crime thrillers, variety shows, movies, pretty much covers most genres. You can watch most things on Drama Fever for free, but you get the commercials.
Oh, I want to see the commercials.
Imagine some Korean Chinese commercials. It sounds like the old TBS type station.
I think that's where it's the foreign commercials are like that tampon commercial we saw with the shark.
Now, have any of you guys seen movie 43?
Yes. Funny enough, it was on TV here a couple of nights ago.
Well, we bought it. Well, I bought it for Andrea, and we showed it to my son. who's now 15 and a half, and I'm like, it's time for you to see these horrible, inappropriate comedies, and I'd rather you see them at home first with your parents instead of, yeah, so you can be the one kid. By the way, the week after he saw it, I asked him, like, so did you talk to any of your friends about movie 43? He's like, oh, no. No. Okay, I got it. Calm down.
What? It's a great damn movie.
But there is one commercial about it right after they do a scene about a young girl having her first period and the boys and the men freaking out, not knowing what to do.
Hilarious.
They flip to the TV as the characters flip the TV on, and it's two women, one in a black bathing suit, one in a white, and they both go into the ocean and they're swimming out, and then suddenly a shark leaps up and eats one of the women, and it says Tampax Superior Protection.
That's the greatest thing.
One of my favourite adverts when I was, I suppose, young teenager, just used to make me laugh every time. It was just the view from the front car of a roller coaster, climbing up the big gradient before the dramatic drop. And it went on for ages, like 20 seconds, which in advertising seems like it's lasting forever. Just the same view getting to the top. And it slowly comes over the crest and looks down, and it's the most horrendous, ball-tightening drop down into this ridiculous roller coaster. And it starts hammering down the other side. Everyone starts screaming, and it suddenly cuts to a completely black screen with utter silence. And this calm female voice says, "There are easier ways to cure your constipation. Imodium."
That's great.
Oh my god.
Oh, see, that's good advertising. And Toei says there are U.S. commercials on the Chinese, Korean. That's disappointing. That's disappointing. It's look, they're catching.
I've given you my tiredness.
Damn, John's as quiet as I am.
He is.
Sometimes
It's,
I get to listen to 2 conversations.
and join in neither. That's okay. We've got.
We're gonna pick some stuff up from there.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Well, since he's leaving, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right
I was
back.
about to say 8 minutes till the top of the hour. Anybody needs a break? Go grab some coffee. Use the bathroom. Go right ahead. You
All
have
right,
any
that's
more
not
tea?
bad. I did actually. I could do with a cup of coffee, so I'm going to try and stick around for maybe another hour and stick with you for a bit. So I'm going to need caffeine. I'll be right back.
Okay, man. So.
I'm looking at this drama fever thing.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Might try the free thing.
Okay. Can we get it on the TV, or do you got to watch it on your phone or computer?
I'm sure you can get it on TV.
Well, I think it matters what apps have been uploaded, but we might have that.
That's Toad.
Hey, Toei. What? Hey, Toei. So, can we watch that on our TV? Do most DVD players have that app built into it?
Can we download the app? Probably. Oh my god, I'm getting ads on here. Join AARP. Bitches.
Man, what happened? Why am I sleepy? I even took a nap today.
I think some of these are on Netflix.
Could be.
You took a nap. I didn't take a nap.
You started to, till the pizza went ding ding ding.
Yeah.
Zazzle took a nap.
She's always taking a nap.
She's napperific. Nappy.
Um,
Bob took a nap. He was at work today.
hey, Tempe. Tempe's on.
Hi, Tempe. Thank you for the kind words up on Facebook. I appreciate that.
How'd you see that?
She sent me a message via Instagram, and I logged in there, and I guess since the two are connected, it didn't take me to my browser, but I actually got to see it.
Oh, that's cool.
So, I mean, I couldn't respond. I think I clicked like, but I don't know what happened on the other side. Watch it on Roku all the time if you have that. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's on there.
I think Roku is essentially, you know, all the apps we have on the DVD player. Roku would replace the DVD player with no DVD player in it.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank goodness we asked how Bob is. He's a screamer.
What are you doing, Junior?
I wonder how much those cardboard things were.
That's good. I think he told you.
I will ask him when he
I
gets
think he
back.
told us. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know.
Some Netflix overlap, she says. Yeah, I'm going to ask him. Now, if we got a character done, because he has like that one Talk to the Tavern picture he was supposed to be doing for us, would you want like Crusher?
I don't know.
Would you want a cardboard cutout of a superhero?
I don't know.
I mean, you could just have him do fast food.
Your picture.
Picture of me?
Like a Top of the Tavern one. It's got to be the mustache thing. And then you could, when you do stuff at conventions, just...
Put it up behind me. So I can have him do me kind of super stylized and tentacles and...
When you cut the face out, people can put their face in there and they have the mustache and everything. I don't fucking know.
Further snacking tonight will be brought to you by Terry's Chocolate Orange.
Those are good. I like those.
We only get them at Christmas time.
You see that from Toey there? She says best way to find shows of interest
I see that.
on Drama Fever is going to browse and picking your favorite genre.
Yeah, I was looking at that. No, I'll post it on the public page.
Tempe is now up to book 4.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible. And the little bit I read, and I read a little Tempe, and very little. Not, I mean, like a chapter. It seemed pretty well. There was things I would nitpick, but I'm pretty sure Tara's going to hit those for you, and you're going to get a lot of corrections.
Oh, this is pre-published?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait a minute.
No, she's just writing like a book a month or book every 3 weeks, and
That's crazy.
it's in her, and it's got to get out because she can't do her heavy woodworking anymore. And all the crafting she was doing, so she needs a creative outlet, and writing was it. Kevin, she sat down in a matter of like 3 weeks, wrote 90,000 words.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it poured out of her.
That's impressive.
Yeah, she
Well
said,
done.
like, she would, couldn't sleep. She'd be up till, she'd normally in bed by 9 or 10,
Yeah.
up till 2 or 3 in the morning writing. Just can't stop. Good stuff. Welcome back, Ed.
Hey,
We're about to do a This Week in History thing. Andrew, was there
Weekend History Hour.
was there something we were going to ask? Was it? Oh, it was John we were going to ask.
Cardboard cutout.
Well, that doesn't sound like ginger ale. I don't hear any fizz. Did your ginger ale go flat, Ed?
mm-hmm.
See, you should do that in the beginning.
It turned dark too.
It's
That happened to Bob.
right after a DNA test.
Well, he lost all his fizz.
And he turned dark.
Okay. I guess we could start This Week in History now while we're waiting on John. Let me get some intro music here. Here we go. Maybe.
This Week in History.
Hey Ed, what happened this week in history?
Shit happened, y'all. Well, I didn't get any heavy stuff. Again, keeping with my entertainment theme I've been doing the last couple of months. 67 years ago, I Love Lucy premiered on television.
Oh.
Have you seen American Gods yet?
No, I have not.
Little tribute to I Love Lucy in there.
Is it?
Little bit. And played by Gillian Anderson, by the way.
Okay.
And so much better than she was on X-Files.
I like the X-Files.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she wasn't better in this and that. Bob wants to write too. Go on, Ed, quick.
43 years ago, Saturday Night Live premiered on television.
Really?
43.
I thought it was longer than that.
No.
74, 75, somewhere around that time.
So, does anybody here think there was any era where Saturday Night Live was consistently funny?
The early years.
Like the first 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. And not
It
that.
all depended on who was on there, who was writing for it at the time.
Well, absolutely, and but even some of the stuff I thought was funny then is not so funny now.
Well,
Now we matured.
it's all on how, yeah, it's different for each person, and as you mature, like you used to think certain things were good, and then you're like, oh, like the movie Tron.
Yeah.
Didn't know better.
Yeah. Yeah. Movie Tron. Xeno Warrior Princess. I thought that was the shit back in the day.
Oh, it still is.
Tried to watch it a couple months ago. I was like, wow.
No,
So-
it still is.
So
It's
Ed,
horrible.
I'm in World of Warcraft, and somebody standing next to me looks like they tried to dress their character like Xena.
Okay.
And I went very Xena. And they responded back to me with... hold on. It was YDTM. YDTM. Or W. Anyhow, I'm like, they just like vomited letters on me. I'm like, oh, that stands for what does that mean?
Oh, what?
So I responded with NM. And then I like took every sentence I wanted to say after them and only put the first letter. Then I did the emote for facepalm, and I ran away from them. Now, I don't mind them not knowing. Bob, they already had that. Steve Martin did a movie about it.
It's called The Drug. It's great. We have to watch that when Elizabeth comes over.
Wait, it was the other way around. It was a white man raised by blacks in the
Whatever.
Deep South instead of...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Still great.
So
Or
Bob's
black.
Bob's from Detroit.
Explains a lot.
Okay, 44 years ago, Wolverine made his comic debut in Incredible Hulk number 180.
44 years
But
ago.
it was so little what he was in there. It was just like the last panel or something.
And he was in blue and yellow, which I've never...
I like the blue and yellow.
Yeah, see, I mean, okay, I get the modern movies, but that's what I always see in my head when.
See, when I
What do you
started...
expect him to wear? Yellow spandex?
Yeah.
Well, when I first saw Wolverine, he was in the brown and beige, which those colors fit for me with the black.
He's colorblind. He can't help. He designed something and nobody told him.
What?
Just carry on.
It's kind of like the Daredevil outfit.
Well, he was blind too. He couldn't see it.
We're lucky it all ended up one color. Be like one arm, one color, a glove, a different color.
That's how it started.
Daredevil, the man without
It's
taste.
only red because of all the blood.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, when I first saw Deadpool, it did remind me a lot of Daredevil. Not so much Spider-Man, but Daredevil. I'm like, is this Daredevil's new costume? Nope. Nobody else has comments on Wolverine and his early costumes? Okay. What else you got, Ed?
24 years ago, Le Royale with cheese.
24 years.
First premiered in theaters. Yeah.
Shit, man.
24 years ago for Pulp Fiction, is that what you just said?
Mm-hmm.
24.
God, has it been that
That
long?
just made me feel more tired and old than the 17-hour
I
shift I
saw
worked
that.
today.
I saw that in the theater when it came out. Wow, and I have it. I own that. Wow.
I'm looking forward to showing that to Aiden. Like, here's the anal rape scene, Aiden.
The pussy wagon.
The pussy wagon. That's Kill Bill.
And then he
Oh,
was
whatever,
about to
it's
get
Quentin Tarantino.
medieval on their ass.
Okay. Oh man, I was so sad when he passed. But because I tell you what, that was one of the best parts of the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. Is what's his name? Is Kingpin. Affleck. And the Green Mile. I can't even think of the actor's name now. He was also in.
Vin Rames? Vin Rames?
No, not Vin Rames.
The other one
that's
was in Green
who
Mile.
was getting medieval on their ass.
Was that Vin Rames?
Yeah, that was Vin Rames. You're thinking of the big guy in Green Mile, right?
You're
Yeah.
thinking of someone else.
Yeah, I can't remember his name now.
I'm gonna look it up.
Oh Lord.
Is it Michael something?
Yeah,
yes,
Mike.
Michael something.
Three names.
Clark.
Michael Clark Duncan. Michael Duncan Clark.
Yeah, he was also in The Finder,
Yes.
which I love that show. They stopped because he died.
Okay, else. What else happened?
Clark Duncan.
That's all I had for history. Current events, I was going to mention The Mandalorian, but we've already talked about that.
Kind of.
Disney CEO, sticking with Star Wars, said that he believes they may have moved too fast. The original intent there was going to do a trilogy film and then a standalone trilogy film standalone. And then they wanted to get to the point where they were doing 2 movies a year, a trilogy film and a standalone. Now, apparently, they decided they're going to back all the way from the standalone thing a little bit, considering Solo didn't do as well as they thought.
I can tell you the problem with
And-
Solo.
It was good though. I liked it.
I liked it. I finally got to see it. It was okay. It was okay.
The
You know,
problem with
it was
Solo,
like-
though, is the same problem with the new trilogy, and he was too perfect.
Mm.
He had no flaws. The only flaw he had is, oh, you're actually a good guy, Solo. No, I'm a bad boy. That was his biggest flaw, is he wanted to be a bad boy, or the bad boy. So he was too perfect. He was too clean. Which I get the younger years, how he formed into that. But
He
again,
wasn't
there's...
clean when he was covered in mud.
No. I did enjoy all the scenes with Chewie, though. But Londo was much more of
He
a
was
appealing
fabulous.
character.
Oh my God, that
Be-
was great.
Well, because he was shifty. He had flaws. He was not perfect. And
And he had fashion.
he did have a bit of a flair to him, didn't
Oh,
he?
it was great.
I thought the Darth Maul appearance was kind of interesting. I'd like to see where they plan on going with that.
Watch Star Wars Rebels. And
Oh,
Clone
yeah,
Wars.
I have.
Okay.
I have. Yeah.
So I'm guessing, and this is what I'm curious about exactly what you're talking about there. This might lead into the Mandalorians.
Mhm.
This might just tie that movie into the 2 animated series that Maul was in. But I'm guessing it has to be something more. It can't be just backpedaling
Right.
to attach.
Right. Exactly.
It's something coming up after Solo, which could be the Mandalorians. Which, doesn't that sound like, all those medieval dramas we had? Like the Royals, I forget the name of the series, but the Mandalorian sounds like.
Tutors.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking
It
of.
wasn't about tooting.
To me, it sounds like a 1970s sex hotel.
The Mandalorians?
And good evening, sir. Welcome to the Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
Celebrate the acoustic guy.
It will be now.
That's right. I'd like an argument, please.
Well, one thing that their CEO said, which I kind of agreed with a little bit, he said he believes that they kind of got into this belief that we could make a film and stick the name Star Wars on it, and the fans would just pile out to see it. And he believes now that maybe that's not quite so. We need to make a better quality film in order to get the fans to pile out. And that's the way I've been feeling about most of the new films, with the exception of Rogue One. Loved Rogue One.
Because Rogue One, the characters were flawed. They were broken people. And we loved it. Especially the droid. But yeah, all these other ones, the characters are coming off as too perfect. Hey. Sorry, cat sharpening his claws on a bookshelf. So yeah, it's if I can get a hold of the damn producers or writers or somebody, I can tell them how to fix their problem in one easy pitch. Which I probably should be smart and make it longer than that and work myself in as a writer, but I won't. I'll be like, fix the movies.
It's like, give me my money.
Yeah, it's not even a big fix. It's a minor. I mean, they're trying to give us heroes a thing they don't
Maybe
understand.
someone's told them that, and they're just like, no, we're going to do it this way. I'm
But
smarter than you.
I could point straight at the Marvel movies and go, look at Tony Stark, he's a broken man. Look at Star-Lord, he's haunted. Look at...
His leg is haunted.
By what?
I don't know.
A horny dog?
Probably. I am Groot.
Travis, I know you're a Star Wars Rebels fan, kind of, sort of, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you happen to catch the scenes in Rogue One with Chopper
Yes.
and the Ghost?
Yes. Yeah, it's
That was pretty cool.
great fun. There's also, the Ghost is in there in one of the space battles, and Chopper is running around, and there's an announcement for the Twilight Captain,
Right.
and I think that's the 3 tie-ins, and I think that's a beautiful way to tie it in. You don't need an actor playing the character. You drop these things in, it's tied in, we're good. Especially with the way... Now, I haven't seen the final season for Rebels, but from what I understand, and I think you confirm this, the last episode of Season 4 of Rebels, which is the last episode of the series, pretty much butts right up to Rogue One.
Yeah, and yes, and then there's a look into the future after Return of the Jedi.
Right, which I heard
Yeah.
that's what the next series was supposed to be with.
And that's where the next series is
Resistance.
supposed to pick up. Yeah.
And I understood the Mandalorian chick from Rebels is supposed to get together with Ahsoka and go search for Ezra, who's missing.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard, but I haven't seen it, so yeah, feel free to.
It's out. I haven't seen any of it yet. Resistance. I think it's out, but I haven't
What?
seen it yet. I'm pretty sure it's out. I'm pretty sure it's airing. I could
What
be
is it,
incorrect,
Rebels?
but
Star Wars Resistance.
I thought it started this month.
Oh, there's a trailer for it.
First episode, October 7th.
Yeah, it started last week.
Okay, that's what I thought. With my crazy schedule, I just hadn't had a chance to check it out yet.
I hope it's decent. But they've done great with the animated series, pretty much.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan not a big fan of Clone Wars, but I just watched season 5, and the last half of that season was great. Now I have the Lost episodes to watch, and from what other people have told me, those episodes really get into some stuff with Yoda, and it's excellent also.
Yeah, they're good.
But the episodes I'm talking about is the one where Ahsoka breaks away because...
Right.
I saw that one.
Yeah, my only issue with that is she walks away going, "This is all my fault," and I'm like, "Nope, they
Nope.
threw you under the fucking bus, bitch.
Quit being whiny.
Spine up. This ain't your fault." That's the go glare at Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Windu. They're the ones that went, "Well, yeah, we've known her for 4 years, but she probably killed people. Let's turn her over." So, yeah. Did they take John with them? They might
My
have.
internet got cut off.
Your internet? What happened?
I don't know, it just cut off.
Oh.
I'm trying to get on Twitch and it's like, no, you don't have internet.
No
Well, I
touch
was
for
wondering
you.
why it froze.
Gotcha. I'm gonna just check and make sure that. Okay, it looks like everything's still moving. I don't know. Wow, everything is jumpy there. Bless you,
Yeah,
people are
it's every
sticking
now and then here.
Is it still on?
Yeah.
Since I have no internet.
It's still moving.
And you get a message that says, go into settings and under the advanced menu, click on low latency and it'll clear things out. No, it won't.
I had last week we had a new viewer pop in
Yeah, it's
who
working.
was from or still is from Iran, and he claimed to be a 17-year-old kid. Okay, good enough. But then he told me the time, and he's like, "Oh, I just got home from school. It's like 10 o'clock at night." And then he mentions, "Oh, there's a thunderstorm," and he sends me a picture of it in Discord. And I go, "Oh, very nice picture." And then he sends me another one that his friend took, and I went, "Wait a minute, his friend took this? Like, he's on the phone talking to his friend, and his friend just sent him this picture." So I saved the pictures, went to Google, and now, you know how you could search by images?
Yeah.
I searched by images, and there these photos are on Wikipedia. So now I'm looking at either I got a kid that's been telling me the truth who just lied about taking these pictures, or I have something a little more sinister and somebody's trying to build sympathy and attention, etc., to get my attention for some reason.
There's a few of them that just want to repeat off of Wikipedia.
Yeah, we've seen one of those, haven't we? But basically, I called him out on air. I went, "Yeah, I found your pictures online. You fucking lied, blah, blah, blah." So he bails from the channel. And later I get a message on Discord, "Can you forgive and forget?" I'm like, "No. Well, I can get over it and move on. But you forget, you don't learn." And as forgive, there's nothing to forgive. I don't know you. You're a stranger to me. So there's nothing to forgive. Now, on the other hand, if this shit ever happens again and you lie to me again, he's like, "I'm not a liar." I'm like, "You lied."
Yeah.
But
You just did it. You just did it again.
yeah. I'm like, "So you lie to me again, and I'll just basically greet you when we walk through and not have a conversation with you because I got no use for dealing with that shit." So I still don't know. He's come back a few times after that, and there we are. But this tied in some other way. I don't remember how. Hello to everybody who is just joining us. We are discussing This Week in History as Ed has pulled stuff together. And right now we're hot and heavy on the topic of the new Star Wars television series Resistance, as well as some of the older ones.
And liars.
And liars, yeah.
And liars.
We had a segue.
Liars and tigers and bears.
Well, thank you, Andrea. Bob has voiced his input with Yoda was a porn star before becoming a Jedi Master.
Well,
It must have been the ears.
Well, I tell you what, the kind of videos that he did use the Force, and you can't show those on Pornhub. Gotta be consensual.
Can't even talk. Nope.
So I don't know. Can you guys see the white cat, the black and white cat here?
Yeah.
Okay. So Andrea started bringing her computer in here to play World of Warcraft with me. And she's got the intake on her here and her outtake there. And Zazzle went, warm air. I'm going to lay right up against those vents. Which means Andrea's computer fan is now sucking in cat hair. And the outtake, which blows all the hot air away, can't push it out. So I'm like, I've got a solution. So if you look real careful here, you're going to see a triangular thing right here. I took a box and I folded it over and I cut holes for the vents, so now Zazzle can lay up against it, feel the warm, but the air still has a place to go without cat
She'll
being.
put her face in the box. So funny. Because it was cold yesterday.
Oh yeah, Kevin, you get in this weather also?
It's definitely colder the last couple of days, yeah. Although I'm feeling cold quite a bit at the moment anyway because I'm constantly exhausted. So you know how you know, a tiny bit of cold, you suddenly feels like you're in the Arctic when you're tired.
Oh yeah.
It's just part of my general grumbling. It's too cold. I'm tired. No one's moved any of this paperwork. Where are my keys?
I don't know where they are, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Are you sitting on them?
What do you have? Like 2 keys?
On that one, 6 on the other bunch, and then 8 on the other one.
So you have 3 key rings.
3 bunches.
So altogether you got 52 keys.
I've got my home keys, my pub keys, and my internal pub keys, which is things like the wine store and the cellar, the safe, the key safe for the other stuff at work.
Then the keys to all the neighbors.
And the key to my heart. Welcome back, John.
What kind, you know what kind of key opens any door? A pie key. Tumbleweeds blow past.
Irish racist humor. We're just. It's okay to make fun of them because they're white. Right?
It's okay to make fun of them because there's a C between me and them.
Good point.
And we've already got their Guinness, so it's all good.
And they're Jameson. Sorry, I'm busy having a moment of silence for Guinness and Jameson.
Why? Make it sound like you're mourning them.
Well, I miss them.
He doesn't have any more at the moment.
They haven't come around and visited lately, and I have yet to go to and pick them up where they hang out and bring them home.
I had a weird yearning the other day. I don't know if you guys ever had this in America. Do you ever get cream stouts over there? Like a cream ale?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get Caffrey's?
I've heard of it. I don't
Yes.
remember.
You
seeing
used to see it on draft in pubs in the UK all over the place up until about 10 or 12 years ago, and they just went out of vogue and slowly disappeared. The other day out of nowhere, I just got a real yearning for a pint of Caffrey's.
Weird. Did you smoke or eat something that you used to eat back in the day? That you would have
Oh, you mean like
associated?
associated memory? Not that I'm aware of. No, I think I was just at work. We were talking about beers, but
Who's got a beeper?
that's just my fat ass backing up.
My internet keeps cutting off for some reason.
Well, don't worry about it. You don't need your internet.
I was reading the chat.
Oh, you could check it on your phone like you do the
I
other
don't
times.
want to now.
Okay, fine. Don't.
When we're done here, I'm gonna go play my game.
Do you need to take a fuck it all? How come we don't have these? That's what they should name the new marijuana pills that make you chill the fuck out. They should name it fuck it all. That would be good. See, I'm also all for them like to stop banning words. I'm waiting to be on the phone with the customer service and use the word damn, hell, or shit, and them to go, you can't use that kind of language. I'm like, this language is used on television at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I absolutely can't
fuck
use
you
this.
not.
The words you don't want me to use are fuck, cunt, fart, because you can't use fart, but you can use shit.
And you can use God or damn, you just can't use them together.
True.
What the hell is that shit?
I don't believe in your damn God.
You're okay.
You just can't have damn after God.
I like grilled cheeses.
I'm not making one right now.
I don't want one right now. I'm pretty full. I ate before the show. That's what I was
Yeah,
doing.
don't eat too much. You could do without that kind of resurrection.
What?
So don't eat too much. We could do without that kind of resurrection.
Oh. I don't have a second coming when I do that.
Thankfully.
Blumpkin for the win! No.
Ew! No!
Ed's looking to the side like there's somebody over there. Ed, anything else going on this week in history?
I got birthdays.
Ah, go ahead.
People were born.
Birthdays. Where we go? History. Where'd that paper go? Oh, there it is.
Nobody knows.
October 14th, 1927. Bond. James Bond. Actor Roger Moore.
27, huh?
The other Bond, yeah.
Yeah, the other Bond. The other halfway decent Bond.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But I was always a Connery man more.
Oh, same here. And I don't think I've watched a single Bond film since Roger Moore.
I felt like Pierce Brosnan was a wonderful blend of Roger Moore and Sean Connery.
Brosnan was too smug.
You think so?
He looked like he looked like he spent hours enjoying his own reflection. They overplayed the smug sort of suaveness angle far too hard with his character.
I think Timothy Dalton.
I actually quite like Daniel Craig. I'm not in love with him as Bond, but of all the modern Bonds, he comes closest to Fleming's original idea of Bond. You know, that there's the other side to him. Again, it comes back to what you were saying, Travis. He's an incredibly flawed character.
Right.
He's got very dark moments in his past. You know, he lost both of his parents in what may or may not have been espionage-related killing, and it grew up very hard in the Scottish Highlands. There's a lot about his formative years that drives the cold, ruthless side of him as an agent.
Right.
And I think Daniel Craig carries that bit off quite well.
The stories just weren't what I wanted in Bond, which isn't to say they weren't great, but because of the era I was raised in the Roger Moore era, so it was more fun and lighthearted.
Yeah.
And I felt like Timothy Dalton, who they only gave the role to because they wanted the movies to continue until they could get Pierce Brosnan in there. And I feel like they gave him crappy scripts. They're like, just write something for him. And he's got very serious, and dark scripts. Kind of like the Daniel Craig stuff, but nobody was ready for that. They came off of Roger Moore, and they were going into Pierce Brosnan, so you have this very dark-toned triple feature with him where he's not even an agent for half of them. Because License to Kill was revoked on License to Kill, and so yeah, it's like they didn't know what to do with him. What do you think of Daniel Craig there, Ed?
Never seen it.
Really? I didn't like him.
After Roger Moore, I stopped.
Huh. Okay. I won't try to sell you on them. Instead, I'll say go watch the Bourne movies.
Which are nothing like the books.
No.
No, and nothing like the books? Okay.
But the books were great.
Yeah. They're not bad movies, but it's not the book, so.
About the worst thing I can say about the movies is no, we did not need a 20-minute car chase any more than we needed a 20-minute pod racing scene in episode 1. Mind you, it's some incredible stunts and some beautiful shots. But
somebody got paid to do it, so
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely... They wanted to raise the bar with those scenes, and they did, but I don't feel they were necessary to moving the story forward.
Well, the fight scene too in Bourne Identity, where he's fighting a dude in the hotel room, it's like in this shit a whole lot quicker than this.
Yeah. It's that's my biggest complaint. It's I like the plot twists. I like and they're kind of predictable. So maybe I'll have to pick up the books.
But I noticed a lot of action movies these days, maybe not so much sci-fi, but a lot of action movies these days are doing these 10 to 20 minute mano-a-mano fight scenes. It's like...
Right. At least... Thank you there, Bob. At least with John Wick, you go into it going, this movie has 15 minutes of plot and the rest is a fight scene.
Right.
Or 3 fight scenes broken up by 5 minutes of plot. And you're okay with it. It's like watching a video game montage or something. And it is beautifully choreographed and well done. And it works because they're not making you feel like they have any other great storyline. It's just a guy who's pissed who's coming for you. Now we get to watch him punch and shoot people.
Punch and, one dude's out of bullets, so the other one tosses his gun away. Oh no, fuck that shit. You should have counted your ammo, dude. You're down.
Yeah.
Don't throw your gun away. You can throw it at them. You can hit them.
I've never understood how action heroes ever run out of bullets or guns when they're fighting like 20 or 50 other guys who all have bullets and guns. And in John Wick, you see him pick up a weapon and automatically check the clip.
Well, that's what you do.
And I'm like, all right, that feels right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else you got, Ed? Who else had a birthday?
Okay, another October 16th, 1758. The dictionary dude, Noah Webster.
1758, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I have a Webster's dictionary out there from like 1984 or 94. Huh? Yeah, it's,
Same here.
8 inches thick, costs $70. And I'm like, I've had it on my shelf for decades. Do I bother to keep it? Because I never use it.
You could throw it at someone when they attack you. It'll kill them instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Look at fish.
See. I can't. Oh, let me show you this, gentlemen. Hold on a second. Let me do this real quick. This is how the cats, throughout the whole show, this is how the cat is because of my sense of humor. Hold on a second.
Yes.
Let me make it so I can see the
It's
camera.
so funny.
Okay, I'm going to show it to both cameras. I'll start with you guys here. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Can you see him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With his hand
He's
over his
like-
face.
No.
There we go. There's for our viewers. Yeah. I'm like, oh no, not again. He won't stop. Okay. Hey, an item I won on Wish is $5 for the next 30 minutes.
Just say no.
Can I just poke it a little? Andrew got a new dress.
I ordered it a month ago.
Yeah. It's great ordering off Wish because it's like
It takes so
A
long
Russian
'cause it's
roulette
coming-
with shopping.
it is, but
Well,
also
It
it's
takes so long to get here, you forget it, and it's like Christmas.
like a surprise present from yourself in the past.
But for $11, whatever.
Okay. Who else besides Webster?
October 17th, 1956. Mae Johnson. Who the fuck is Mae Johnson, right? She was the first black female astronaut, whom also appeared on an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Nice.
Huh. When did she launch?
I don't know.
I just found out something interesting about one of our viewers today.
Mm-hmm.
He worked on the Titan 3 launches.
Oh, cool.
That would be Bob. He mentioned that on live and on the stream earlier today. That's why I mentioned it again on air. I don't think it's a secret since he said it publicly. But yeah, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting little tidbit of info. So I figure he's one of those 3 women in that movie, Modern Figures, or what's it called?
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures. Bob must have been one of them. Huh?
Obvious.
Yeah, because I know he's a lesbian and he's 0.04% black, so I figure he's one of those women.
Yeah.
He
The
can
one
stay
in the middle.
hidden.
He's the one.
Okay.
Is he the chubby one?
He's the one in the middle. I don't know.
Okay, Ed, who else?
October 17th, 1972. Rapper Eminem.
72. He's a baby.
Yeah, he's a baby.
Well, he's doing okay. What the hell is he doing now? Is he still doing music or?
I really don't
He's,
know.
he's just had some very public beef with another artist, hasn't he? Where they've both released diss
Harry
tracks,
Mack.
dissing. I can't remember who it is. Yeah, so he's still around. He's still doing stuff, not as prolifically though, as
He
far
don't-
as I'm aware.
He doesn't need
I don't
to.
follow him closely.
I realized that I was getting old. I had my olden moment because supposedly Harry Mack is the shit. And yeah, he's been challenging Eminem publicly, telling Eminem he can't rap and so forth and so on. If you've ever seen the car commercial where the people are taking the car for the test drive, and this guy starts rapping, that's Harry Mack. So
Yeah,
I
we've
actually
seen it in
pulled him up and I
Stop It
checked
on
up some of his videos and was like, "You need to shut the fuck up. You can't rap, white boy."
That's funny. Yeah, Andrea whispered to me, "Who's Harry Mack?" And I'm like, "Hold on, I'll ask because I don't know."
I know who Harryhausen is.
That's right. We can tell you who Harryhausen is. That's our geek, I guess. It's Eminem. I like his stuff though.
I like his stuff. Yeah,
It's and
Good stuff.
what I like
Makes you
about
think.
his stuff, it does, and most of it is hopeful that I will not stay down. I will, you'll beat me down and I'll get back
Well,
up.
he's not on drugs anymore.
That's true. Well, he comments on that too. He tells the story of, I was fucked up and yeah.
Angry and in fights and yeah.
The stuff of his I like. I'm not fussed about the character per se. I like it because it's lyrically clever.
Yeah.
And whilst my first love in music is not rap, I enjoy a lot of rap music, and I think it's the same regardless of who the artist is. I think that's always been what's drawn me to the bits of rap that I do like, is that they're all people who are very clever with how they use words and lyrics.
I agree. Them and Beastie Boys.
Too bad.
Jurassic 5,
Yeah. Run DMC.
starring Alan and
Yeah. It's not like they were clever at all, either of those groups with their lyrics, but man, we do like their shit, don't we?
Yep.
Okay, Ed, what else you got, man?
October 18th, 1960, kickboxer, actor Jean-Claude Van Damme.
1960?
Yep.
Shit, he's 11 years older than me?
Yeah. He's starting to show his age a little bit, too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, is he shrinking too?
probably.
You know that's why he
Yes.
got into martial arts, because he was too short to do modeling?
I've heard that.
Yeah. Go figure.
It's a hell of a switch up. Drops him. You listening? You did modeling. Maybe time to go into martial arts.
But he's not short.
I don't. I'm height blind. I don't know. I have like friends like Kevin, and I don't think of him as a foot taller than me. I think of him as that's Kevin. Here he comes, unfolding himself off the couch. Much creepier
like
when
some,
you do.
like some horrendous apparition from a black and white 50s film noir. It came from beyond the bar.
At least it didn't come on under the bar.
On top.
No, there's no. You wouldn't want to come under the bar, man. That's horrendous. That's where we keep the fruit shoots for the kids.
Careful, they're a little sticky today. What do you got, Ed?
October 20th, 1882, actor Bela Lugosi.
Oh,
1882.
wow.
Yeah.
He's a little up there.
He's a baby. Andrea left the room.
Andreas
Blah,
left
blah.
the building.
What?
Blah, 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 blah.
What? Llama leapt on what?
Blah, 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 blah. That's my ringtone on my phone for my sister.
Oh.
Blah, 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 blah.
Did you record it yourself?
Nah. But it sounds just like her.
Okay, who else we got? Bella Lugosi.
Okay, I See Dead People, October 6th, which probably was a show or two ago, but I wasn't here, so I'll do it now. Scott Wilson, he played the sheriff in the original movie In the Heat of the Night, and he was also Herschel on The Walking Dead. He passed away.
Herschel. Oh.
Yeah.
So why did you say I See Dead People? Was he in Sixth Sense also?
No, it's deaths. That's
Oh,
what I'm
I
doing,
see.
deaths.
I got you. Okay, sorry. I got confused there for a second. I liked his character. Bob says his rapping has improved since he realized his true heritage. I can't wait till he finds out he's part Asian and learns how to cook.
Oh, God.
Learns he's part French and learns to give up.
I
liked Herschel.
Yeah.
But he was the right kind of character to kill. He was. Okay, who else? Who else died?
That is it. I am done. In less than an hour.
Yeah, I tried to push it a full hour, but...
I'd like to say happy birthday to my dad, whose birthday is in 2 days' time.
Nice.
He will be, let me work this out, 73 this year.
See, that's how I figure out my age, too. I do the math. People are like, how old are you? I'm like, what year is it? Did you guys...
It's largely a product of me being incredibly tired as well.
It could be. It's Ed, do you... When people ask you, do you know your age immediately?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Now, Kevin, what about you?
Yeah, but only because this year my age is a number
42.
that has great significance to me because I'm 42.
Right.
And I'm a huge Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fan. So for this year, I am the meaning of life, the universe, and everything.
So, yeah, it's... I think once you get past that point, the importance of the number starts kind of dissipating.
Yeah, I get what you mean, though. The few years before, it's only because that number is always going to have big significance for me. So if someone says, how old are you? I know right now. But yeah, a couple of years before that, you do have that moment where you're like, it's never something I've really made a big fuss about. All my life, I've had friends who were younger than me, older than me. I've never stuck to my own age group when it came to the people I chose to hang out with. I like people because of the people they are, not because they're my age group.
This past week, we had a person from Australia join our stream and hang out a couple days in a row. And they commented as Aiden was here, you know, how great it is that we're cooking together and we stream together and we do all these things together. And after like the second or third day this person was on, they asked how old Aiden is. I'm like, he's 15 and a half. He's like, oh, I didn't know. I'm 16. And I thought Aiden was older than me. He's like, I don't know if I'm allowed to watch this channel. I'm like, here's my deal. What you watch is your business or your parents' business. I put disclaimers up here, and I listed the reasons that I usually list. Bob says, I see white people. Through their window from the bushes? Just remember, Bob, be careful nowadays when you ask, where's the white women?
They're just over there, Bob, just to the side of the restraining order.
It'll get you in trouble when you decide to become a Supreme Court justice. Boom.
Man, how great would it have been if Mel Brooks ran for Supreme Court justice? I'd vote for him as Supreme Court justice. He sees the ridiculousness in things. But yeah, this kid was like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm going to treat you how you behave. You've used capitalization, complete sentences, and punctuation. So far, so good. You've expressed intelligent ideas and opinions without knocking people out of the way. I don't give a damn how old you are. I'll treat you how you behave. And I know some people older than me that behave younger than you. So, not looking at anyone in particular here right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wound update.
Oh, man. So it looks like a graft now. That's kind of cool.
It's healed nicely.
You think it's going to scar wonderfully?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll get away with it. I'll probably just have a bit of discoloration for a month or two, I think. And that's quite lucky because when I did it, I was stood right next to the burn kit. So couldn't be better placed.
I hear Andrea on the phone. She could come back very angry or very happy. Or very neutral. That covers all the bases, right?
Yeah, you're going to be right one way or the other now.
Less clothes on.
That'd be great. Now, here's a secret. From my angle over here, I can see side boob because the sweater was separating. I was very happy. I did not.
Splendid.
Yeah, I didn't share that information with the room when she was here because I didn't want her to go. Let me cover it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's very hard not to observe side boob around my wife from a multitude of angles around the room.
Well, by side boob, I mean it is like bare bosom.
Yeah.
Showing.
Dude, I would observe side boob from your wife from pictures on the internet.
They're hard to miss.
I
Trust me, I know. I've spent plenty of time with target practice.
Bob is now trying to send you a friend request on Facebook.
It looks like Jewel has popped in.
Yes.
Lady Skipper. So hello to you there, dear. Speaking of side boob, the Aussie was a pedo. Yeah, I don't know.
What is it?
It's amazing some of the folks we get in here. One of the other viewers, when I had the Iranian on, one of the other viewers who popped in, they're like, they have internet there? I'm like, dude, really? Third world countries have internet thanks to satellite nowadays. There's countries
it was probably
without
Mayron.
Huh?
It was probably Mayron.
Mayron?
Yeah, Bob and I work with a guy or I used to, rather, don't work there no more. His name was Mayron. He was from Iran.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah. He still works there. Bob is still there, of course. And Bob, he comes into work every day, and Bob calls him terrorist.
Bob mentioned that he works with an Iranian.
Bob, I don't know if you use Instagram, but if you do, I'm on there as Social Assassin 76. There are pictures of my wife on there.
Hey, John's still alive. Just in time for our next conversation point. Hi, John.
What up, John?
Howdy. Maybe I should have went to sleep.
Bob, if you're listening, Bob, make sure you're watching. It's one and only time I'm going to show you this. This is my wife on this side here.
Okay, let it focus.
Let it focus.
There's 4 things to concentrate on. Stop.
Okay, hold it there. Let it pull it away a little. No, it's focused on your forehead still. There you go. Now maybe it'll do it.
You're a very black man.
Okay, good enough. It's,
Smug is the word you were looking for. I'll go with lucky, though.
So, Bob, damn it. So used to talking to Bob all day. John,
Yes.
how much were those things behind you?
The standees?
Yeah.
So $100 for the 6-foot tall one and $150 for the 8-foot.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay.
And they're plastic, not the corrugated. The cardboard ones are cheaper.
Okay. I was just considering having you do a cutout for Talk of the Tavern. I don't even know what. It's So we were looking at them like, yeah, we could do a stylized Travis with the Talk of the Tavern, the logo, and holding up a glass. And
Well, we looked into all kinds. I mean, there's inflatables that you can buy. Yeah.
I don't need an inflatable me anywhere near the crowd that I hang out with.
Well, it's okay. Always has that surprised look on your face.
Now I look like my mother.
Jawbreaker. No, I had to spend a little bit of time. That young man's getting ready to. I wasn't joking either. I mean, he actually does go up and he'll be watching the president's estate.
Give him a Talk to the Tavern card. Tell him we'd like to have Donnie on the show.
There you go.
I'm wondering if I take.
I told him I wanted an autograph, and he goes, "That's probably not going to happen. If they'll bring me part of his building or something, just break off the chip.
Yeah,
Bring him on the
a little
damn
bit of
show. Shit.
I've always wondered if I interviewed a president and I did it in the casual style we do things. I think whoever I'm interviewing, like Obama or Trump, they might not be offended that I didn't call him Mr. President all the time, but I think a lot of Americans would be upset that I didn't give him the respect of the title with every sentence. What do you guys think?
I think in that situation, you should write the questions and you should let me conduct the interview.
There you go.
We got a dirty foreigner here. Hold on, sir.
Don't mind the duct tape.
Made from real
I
things.
mean, I tend to call all the presidents their proper name. I tend to find that the people that don't like that particular president will call them other things. So
No, I just instead of Mr. Trump or Mr. President, that sort of thing. I'm just, can you get away with calling him Donald or Donnie or Don or whatever he prefers to be called? And I would ask that,
well, then that's his preference. So yeah, then if you asked him and he said, "Yeah, call me Don," then call him Don.
It's just like Barack Obama. I saw Seinfeld interview him, and he called him Mr. President the whole time. And I think at one point in time, Obama did comment that you don't have to. He's like, no, I'm going to give you the respect you deserve for your office, etc. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, and I understand that, but I don't know. The atmosphere of the show is a little less prestigious.
I have a hard time calling President Carter because I just considered him more of a flim flam.
Really?
Just a good old boy.
Yeah, good old millionaire boy. He was a nuclear officer in the United States Navy that, can't go around and act like he's a country bumpkin and didn't know anything. So,
See, I never really refer to any of them by the title of president once they're no longer president.
I think I
refer to them by last name.
I sometimes probably slide out of that. When they are the president, though, I will call them President Obama, President Trump. So
Yeah.
I understand that part too. I'd call Ronald Reagan.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I can imagine, not that I'd interview him any longer, but, having an interview with him and calling him Ronnie, I think would feel,
Didn't he die?
yeah, a while back.
I was gonna say, please don't interview him right now. That'd be awkward.
No, it's, we just get Elizabeth
He
to
was
do
an
the
actor.
puppetry,
He's an actor.
kind of like the last 6 years of his presidency.
Well, he was in the Actors Guild.
I've seen some of his
He
movies.
was in, okay, good point, John. By the way, a few comments. Lady Skippers says, hi all, Cracker Barrel called our name and it was delicious. We just got home. You ate your name? That's weird.
Hey, Skippers.
And you missed this part, but Bob has commented in reference to something we said. I would like an inflatable Travis.
Okay.
This all branched from me asking about the cutouts behind John there, and John explaining they had all kinds, including inflatable, and I'm like, I don't know if we need an inflatable me, considering the type of crowd we attract. So,
Well,
I
Bob,
saw a unique one that they used for buildings and stuff, but they did it kind of 3D. They would cut out the one thing and move it next thing in front of it, and they had it where people could move back and forth. But that was kind of clever. They had one where you can kind of stand in it. It's more like a Barbie box or whatever you wanted to.
Hi, babe.
I saw a picture, it might have been on Wynn's Instagram or something, because she likes taking these pictures, but it was somebody who cosplayed the Ken doll, like Malibu Ken, in
great.
the box.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, and they would stop and pose like the doll in the store and let people take pictures, and but it had the box with the plastic sheeting in front of it and the sunglasses, and and they had abs.
What are they painted on? I don't remember.
I could do like middle-aged Ken doll.
I got tired, Kendall.
Drunk and passed out Ken doll. I'm not saying I want to do that.
Lay on the floor.
Tonight or ever?
Well, just in general, it's not my type of person that I want to do.
You don't want to do a drunk Ken. You must be sober.
Now, we're coming up on the final hour.
Oh, Lord. Now it's going to get inappropriate.
Does anybody need to bow out, or does anybody need a break before we go into the third hour?
I'm going to bow out before I pass out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was
It's
good
been
to see you.
fun, but yeah, it's lovely to catch up with you guys. I've got to be sensible though, because I've got another semi-longish day. I finish at tea time tomorrow, but I'm exhausted from the last 4 days, so I'm going to be sensible. I'm going to get some sleep.
Well, if you have a day off, you know where we are if you need the conversation.
Thursday, I think.
I understand.
I'll
if
give you a
have to go.
shout when I know 100%, which will probably be about 5 minutes before it starts. I'll let you know where my day off is.
Yeah, if you're inclined. You know, if
Yeah,
you're inclined
absolutely.
to fuck off and not talk to us.
No, it'd be cool. Yeah, it depends on the time you guys are on and stuff. But yeah, we'll chat, and if you guys are around when I'm around, it'd
Well,
be cool.
Kev, I'm on 10 to 12 hours a day now.
Sweet. Okay.
So, yeah, generally there's some time I can squeeze you in.
Indeed. Not sure we want to be putting that out on the channel. But...
So, you have a good night. Thanks for joining us
All
for
right.
a couple hours.
It's been a pleasure, guys. Take care. Catch you all soon.
So later, bro.
It's-
I'm gonna take a break, but I'm gonna be back in
Okay.
handy.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm going to run and turn off the open sign.
Sounds good.
I'm just going to sit here.
Excellent.
Watch
I'm
all
gonna
this sleep.
And, huh?
What? Go ahead.
What?
His nose is so flat, that's why he snores.
It could be. He could have a broken nose or something from his kitten years.
No. He's got a flat nose. He's kind of like a pug. The pug of cats.
So last night, the cat that barely gets up on bed, got up on bed between the two of us, and
It was great.
we woke up at 1:30 in the a.m. and Andrea's like, "Oh, Otter is between us. You can touch him." And I reached back and touched him and just booped him on the nose, which made him, while sleeping, pull his head back like 3/4 of an inch. And then he started snoring. So I had to reach over his head and touch the back so he leaned forward and quit snoring. It's like a volume switch.
The softest volume switch ever.
So we're left with a dark room and
Crotch.
crotch shot. Those are 100 to 125, depending on the height.
Can we get one like this size?
Maybe. The whole world can have me in their hand.
No.
I
You
should-
okay, fish?
I should make Bob a moderator.
Don't let him moderate. We have to moderate him. He'd be like, "That's all right."
He just keeps approving his own inappropriate comments.
Like, no, Bob.
Hey, let's play the intro music to the third hour.
Okay.
Time for the roll call for our late night inappropriate, slightly intoxicated, and very naughty music hour. This is where the faint of heart swoon, parents put children to bed, and things heat up and get steamy. So pour another drink and strap yourself in. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
There we go. We started our third hour.
Well,
Go ahead and say something really inappropriate there, John.
Well, I mean, if we get 2 more of these, we're going to have 4 crotches. So. Well, 5.
it says music hour. We don't have music. Sing.
Yeah, I know. I've got to go change the
Sing.
recording. What do you want me to sing?
A song.
A song. Sing.
That one
Alright.
from high school
Sing a
That's it.
song.
about Lake Titicaca.
I don't
song.
remember what song it was, but it was.
Oh,
Just sing the word, it's alright.
What the hell? I can't get this thing out of the way.
Click in the chat box.
did your school actually write it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I want to say it was from a musical.
Click the lines at the bottom. Well, fuck. You broke it.
As you do.
Monster, are you actually here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Monster Hunter Unite. I see the name in the list.
I'm drinking a monster.
They're from Ireland. They're one of our Irish viewers. Black Ken, Kevin, good night, Black Ed, good night, White Ed. Are you leaving, Bob? Because the multi-spectrum of Eds are staying.
Who knows? He's just.
We'll eventually get a rainbow
Ed, are
head.
you there? Open your eyes.
He says, good night, Travis, and the beautiful Andrea in her new dress.
Good night.
Good night, Bob.
Bob, are you leaving then?
Yeah, I guess he's
Because we didn't comment on the Carter thing, I just had nothing to add. When Carter was in office, I was like 10.
Are you crying now?
Oh, I mean, other than what I kind of know that it is what he had done while he was in the Navy. I mean, as a president, he was in a hard spot probably anyway. So,
Especially ending with the Ayatollah and everything.
yeah. So,
Which that's, from what I understand, like I said, not very politically aware at age 9 or whatever, that his lack of strength during that situation was one of the reasons he didn't get reelected.
Could be.
well, I mean, and again, I think Reagan probably was a hard act to follow. So,
That would be why Bush didn't get reelected. Because
so
now again, I'm curious because I can't speak on this stuff because of my age, and it's different when you experience it versus read about it in history books or news articles from the past. So a lot of people say after Reagan got shot, he wasn't the same man. He was more of a puppet president for the others than a strong figure himself. What do you guys think?
well, he definitely engaged the public less. So I guess that might be the perception of it. Being in the military at the time too. I mean, obviously, for the opposite reasons, I usually didn't get involved too much in politics anyway, just too busy.
Right.
So.
Ed, do you have any thoughts on Reagan?
Honestly, I think probably for him, some of the Alzheimer's and dementia was probably starting to set in.
That's pretty much what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, yeah. That's why he was a puppet president. The shooting would have pulled him out of the public eye as much.
Right.
Yeah.
And the same as John, I was in the military at the time and really didn't get involved in politics. It was just, okay, where might I have to go to fight next time?
Yep.
Yeah.
What about you, Bob? Go ahead, John.
Oh no, well, and sometimes, like the shooting is a reason, at least for the public perception, to if you want to call it an excuse for him not to be out there. But I think the Alzheimer's and the other things, obviously, were taking a toll on the man.
Yeah.
I mean, his books are well written. I mean,
Yeah.
very, very, enlightening to read.
I'm guessing they're
But
ghost
even
written.
those, you don't see anything or any, reference to that either, though, because I think, him as a private man didn't want people to know.
Yeah, and that's reasonable, I think.
Mhm.
It's as much people like, well, we need to know that. Well, you know what? Maybe
No,
you
you
don't. Maybe he's a human
Always.
fucking being too and deserves that privacy. Whether you love him or hate him, have a little respect for a person, not even the office
Yeah.
at this point.
However, this is the president of a country that he has the power to set off nuclear weapons. You know, don't you think we should know that?
There is that. There is that. Okay, Bob, you have a good night. Thanks for hanging out for a couple hours. I will no doubt talk to you at some point in time tomorrow.
I think he stayed cognizant enough until the end of his presidency anyway for that. But, you know, if the man doesn't want to be bothered and wants to be, you know, that's fine. I mean, my own father, before he passed away, would not let anybody into the hospital. He just didn't want anybody to see him that way. So he just refused. Just no.
I can understand that. It's let me ask you this, guys. When was the last time we had a vice president that didn't appear to be an idiot when they were vice president?
Cheney.
Didn't he shoot somebody in
The public might have perceived him as that, but the man, I mean, had a lot of influence.
Well, that's I assume anybody who's chosen as vice president actually is not an idiot. I say the same thing about George W.
I don't.
You know, people claim he's an idiot and incompetent, then they claim he's masterminding, ruining the world all by himself. I'm like, please pick a side.
Yeah.
Is he a moron or a mastermind? And stick to
Well,
one.
I think people think that take people for granted. If somebody's kind, you can call them an idiot if you want to, but that doesn't make them an idiot.
Right.
It's just that they're not willing to talk out against whatever that is.
I don't think that's the vice president's job to speak out about things. I think it's kind of he's meant to be a shadow in case he needs to replace the president.
Right.
He's not
Right.
meant to be the public figure. It's that's why a lot of people like, I can't remember who the vice president is. Well, there's a reason for that. It's they purposely keep him behind the curtain most of the time.
Well, statistically, you can see how many vice presidents became president.
Quite a few. I don't know if it's more than half or not,
Right.
but I know quite a few.
Well, I remember it was only like 30% or something.
Okay. That's still a fair amount.
In modern day, I mean,
Yeah,
not that many.
yeah, more so back in the day when the country first began than now.
Yeah, when we were talking about how we wanted a, what's the word I'm looking for? A legacy. And now we just want change.
Well, in the beginning of the country, I mean, they were all in the same brotherhood anyway.
Right.
I mean, they were all the founders of things, and a lot of them had disagreements, believe you me.
Big disagreements.
Well, plus back then the not necessarily loser, but the second runner-up became the vice president.
Correct.
So,
Oh, really?
yeah, and I think we should go back to that.
I think that would create less mud. You know what? No, it wouldn't. I was about to say it might create less mudslinging,
No, it won't.
but
They're
No,
gonna do
it
it either
wouldn't.
way.
because I remember watching, you know,
This will create less.
that might squirrel.
Well, because you'd have to have a better defined task for the vice president,
Right.
I think. Or the vice president should be equated more power other than, you know, being a deciding vote in the Senate and that.
Right.
It'd be pretty tough in our two-party system. Or
Are you gonna read
So, should we have more than two parties?
well, I tried to vote to get the independent onto at least the debate thing, and I think that should be. There shouldn't be a restriction on the percentage of votes that you had to be on a national debate. I mean, I've never understood that. It's just tends to be, you know, the larger media segmenting out a voice thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now,
Well, we can't have
there
seven
are-
people up
there
there.
are representatives of some, I don't want to call them kooks, but, you know, it's kind of fringe politics.
Right.
So,
Right. Well, I mean, we can't have somebody from the Green Party, the Constitution Party, the Libertarian Party, the Democratic Party, and the Republican Party, and what's the other two that I'm missing?
Pizza party.
The Pizza Party.
Well, they have the transhumanists. I mean, it's interesting listening to him, but I mean, what percentage of people are they even representing? Is
I've never heard of. Is that a new political party?
yeah, it's in, I think, 6 states or whatever. They've garnered some votes. It's more, what are we going to evolve into as humans? And they tend to be more futurist leaning, more science based.
Right, right. No, that would be
So-
interesting to listen to. It's but I'd have to listen to them to figure out, are they addressing current issues, or are they addressing things way down the road, which we should address things way down the road. I agree with that, but
It
not.
tends to be more future down the road type potential issues.
Never even heard of them.
You can go look some of them up.
I might just do that.
But I think the debate thing should be opened up so the Republican Party and the Democratic Party don't have a stranglehold on what voices we get to, or what ideas we get to listen to
I agree. I think
as much on a national stage.
I think if we at least brought a third independent in, maybe not one from each of the other large-ish groups, I think it would change the whole debate.
Okay.
Because it would definitely give a lot more exposure to a third or fourth candidate. It's,
Well, I think on the power axis, I mean, you've got left, right, authoritarian, and liberal. But I think 4 different parties should be on the national debate thing. 2 that tend to be left-leaning, 2 that tend to be right-leaning, whether they be, an independent party or
can
whatever.
we get a
that way.
moderate?
You're not drawing away from. I mean, typically that's what they want the independent to do, is to draw votes away from one of the 2 parties.
Right.
So if you have 4, it's a little harder to do that.
Yeah. Ed, thoughts on
And I
this?
mean, obviously here in our state, you already know the whole thing with, sponsoring, a contender that would tend to draw votes away from that side, drain votes. So.
Ed, any input on this?
I think we need more than just 2. Obviously, how to do it, I don't know.
Well, to me, it's always unique in how much money they flush down the toilet every year. So, Hillary Clinton spent, $1 billion? Where's that money at? It's gone. I could have took the $1 billion and put a bunch of kids through college and garnered more votes by taking that money, instead of advertising with it, improving the lots of people and putting my money where my mouth is and helping people, and garner maybe just as many or not more votes. Now, ABC and CBS and those places already, they don't have that ad revenue and stuff like that, but I'm sorry, but I mean, that money is, honestly, it's just, it's evaporated. It's wasted.
It's wasted, gone.
So,
Yeah, and I don't think it's well wasted, if there is such a thing.
I mean, you have to buy some airtime and get your message out, but if you are savvy about it, I can't imagine any national, if you're a contender for the Democratic Party or for the Republican Party, that there's no national news organization that's not going to interview you and talk to you. So that's basically free to get your word out.
Especially if you're doing something for the community, that'll get it out too, because that'll be put on the news.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. If you're taking that money, instead of spending in those particular ways, you've got future voters for your political leaning party or whatever, because they're going to say, well, look what they actually did for. So that's my 2 cents. I think it would be money better spent, I guess.
The thought is wonderful, it's just the execution that's lacking.
Oh, of course. I mean, you have to have a politician that's, that cares more about the community than power.
Well, and here's the thing: a lot of times people don't. They say that's what they want, but they don't. They are more attuned to the ones that are bad mouthing everybody or doing the bad campaigns of like, look at what this person did, than to something nice. Look at the news. Very rarely do you see anything good. It's always disaster and because people suck.
Well, it's a soundbite of the day. I mean,
Uh-huh.
news went from being news to commentary. I mean, they want your eyes on them for their opinions, so they're commentators. They're not news announcers. So they're not broadcasters anymore. We were just talking about,
Oh, they're Navy
now now I have to go to to the internet, and then I have to vet whatever they've vetted to go towards that. Actually, the young man that was here, he just told me that the Army, for their EOD, they went from 3-man squads down to 2-man squads, so advancements become really tough. They haven't changed the mission statement. They just changed they made it to where the pool can't get advanced now. It's kind of crazy. So I don't know if we're moving into that. They're also changing the physical fitness requirements for men and women. So they've lowered the standard overall, but women and men have to meet the minimum standards. There's no more women take this test and men take this at these standards. It's all one blanket thing now.
Yeah, but they're changing the test altogether for the.
Correct. They are lowering the overall standard. But what they were having was that women were, it was easier for them to score 40 points over the minimum requirement for them. So they were saw better for promotion. So this will help with leveling out the promotion point system too. So, and I don't know if the Navy or if the Air Force is going to adopt that too. I know the Army's getting ready to do it. So
I know when they started to do that with fire and police, they lowered standards to supposedly make it more fair, and I'm like, I don't know about that. Shouldn't they just make everybody stick to the same high standard?
Well, that's what I would
well, it has to be a reasonable standard for
Everybody.
whatever the job is for the majority of the people. I mean, us being down in an engine room, I mean, I don't need to go march 5 miles and stuff to be able to do that. But the standards have always been equivalent throughout, your branch of the service, I guess. Because even in the 70s and the 80s, I mean, the Army was there, the Marines were. They were. So I think all branches should have one fitness requirement there. We'll see.
Then excel above that for other stuff, huh?
Well, and that's how you get more promotion points and stuff, is because you took the time to excel and do that. So, and you'll get rewarded for it.
Ed, any thoughts on that?
No, not a one. I don't have to do it.
We have the same thing with the in-rate exams for competency. I mean, you take a test based on your rating, and if you score higher, then you get more points. It's the same thing for the physical standards. You score higher, you get more points. You're more promotable.
Okay.
So
they're leveling the playing field, not necessarily lowering standards.
no, they are overall lowering the baseline standard.
Okay.
So,
But only on the physical fitness?
yeah, I mean, that's what we were talking for physical. I don't know how they would lower it for an exam per se, for a rating exam.
I don't know. I'm not
And
familiar.
you were in the Army, right?
Yeah.
So for us, for our rating exam, you would have like 100 questions. And then you were ranked how well you passed that particular test, but it was all questions that had to do with your particular job. The odd thing in the nuclear Navy was that we took the conventional electricians or machinist mates test. So we had things on there that I never worked on a stove hood or any of that kind of stuff that was on the test, but you would just memorize it so you'd do well on the exam.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, same thing in school. You memorize it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Let me check something here. See if we can't get us a topic.
See, in the army, it was there was a standard test period. It was Army lore, so to speak, I guess I would say, and all the rest of your promotion points came out of your physical fitness test, other how you performed in your job, needed schools for your next level, and so forth and so on. So it wasn't a job-related test.
It was more of a leadership exam.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Navy kind of somewhat factored that into your rating exam. I think that the Armies would probably be a better example of how to promote leaders. The Navy more looked at your technical aspects and what you did. Problem was it was so broad range that, why are you asking me about something that I've never worked on, or never probably will work on? Where the guy that's working on that, he has the upper hand. So you either sat down and you hit the books and memorized it, or didn't. So.
So what's your opinion on the Stormy Daniels situation?
She has another situation.
Well, the federal judges dismissed her defamation lawsuit against Trump.
Oh.
Yeah, this just came in.
Well, she wrote a book. She made money by, bad-mouthing the president.
Right, she defamated herself.
Yeah.
So, she did that publicly to the president. Does she think there's no repercussions?
Well, I'll be quite honest, and I tend to lean a little on the right side, but her lawyer is a piece of work. He's, how that guy thinks he's ever going to become the president of anything beyond me. To save your money. The guy's a shyster. Simple as that.
Isn't that a requirement for most lawyers?
I know a couple good ones, so I won't.
I do too, actually. That's why I had to say most.
So.
What did you say, Andrea?
Her lawyer wants to be president? What?
So, Stormy Daniels' lawyer wants to be president?
Well, he's been politicking, so.
Oh.
Okay. Good times.
He had the one for the Kavanaugh thing. He had the woman that he was going to represent. Yeah. Kavanaugh was holding rape parties or whatever, what she was accused. I tended to shy away from it a bit because I wasn't too happy.
So it looks like one of the big contenders in the 2020 race on the Democratic side will be Elizabeth Warren. What's this thing about Native American?
She took a DNA test, but she's like 1/512. All of us can say we're part Native American, I think.
Right.
But I can't use that to get into college.
What does that have to do with anything, really?
Because in the past, she used it as a check mark to get into college. I'm not positive. I'm just going off of recollection.
Did she use it to get in for free, or?
I don't. I think it was for her. It was just another way for her to get in. And I think it was one of the Ivy League.
I
checked that she was
under race, I put other and put human on mine.
Yeah, I gotta get to those and still find my true color.
Oh, we're not even going there.
She's good at that, Andrea. She's
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know what that means.
There was a comedian going around social media, video of him. He was talking about how somebody told him he's black, and he's like, "I'm not black." He's like, I don't remember what the color was, but he went down to Lowe's and he got the pink chips and he figured out what his true color is. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to do that.
Like
Next time I go to
shadow or
Lowe's, I'm
something
going to
crazy.
do that.
I'll send you some, Ed. It'll be all right. I work tomorrow. I'll send you some.
I thought you were just Chocolate Thunder or
It'll
something.
be 50 Shades of Ed.
indeed.
Apparently, Trump called her Pocahontas on multiple times.
Yes,
Of course.
he did. Yeah.
She's not
Because of the reason I said about her.
She was
Same.
claiming this Indian heritage. And
I have high cheekbones because my
plastic
great
surgeon put it
grandmother,
down.
somebody made a reference about it, et cetera, et cetera.
That's
So-
funny.
So she's setting up to block any of that discussion. She runs.
yeah.
But there's plenty of other things to hammer. So as far as that goes.
Okay, Ed.
You.
Though, John, you missed this conversation. It might very much interest you also. I pulled up an article on Star Wars Resistance and The Mandalorian. So,
What's Star Wars Resistance? What is that one?
Star
New
Wars
cartoon.
Watch TV.
Star Wars Resistance is the new Star Wars animated series, and Gizmodo, a big geek website, has an article put out today that says Star Wars Resistance just made us look at the franchise in a whole new way. And apparently, Captain Phasma is in it, voiced by the same actress.
Mm.
So let's see here. Something about Kaz, which I guess is one of the new characters. Yeah, I'll have to.
See, I wonder if they do Mandalorians. I want to go back to rituals to become a Mandalorian. You know, the whole kind of Klingon Spartan kind of feel.
Right.
This is a right that you have to have this, not, you know, oh, here you go, put this on type of deal. So I don't know which. I'd love to see a Crimson Guard TV series. You know, the elite stormtroopers, the, you know, guardian of the Emperor and that type of. Because you have to, even though they look cool standing back there, they hopefully they're badasses to get to where they're at.
I never thought they
Start
looked
with-
cool. They always looked ridiculous with those big dome helmets. Oh, that's
You didn't
funny.
like the red penis heads?
Yeah. The gun in The Mandalorian that they have in something they put on Instagram is the gun from like Boba Fett during the Christmas special.
Oh,
If you remember, Boba Fett had this kind of like tuning fork
He was on
looking
a-
rifle.
he was on the Brontosaurus or what?
Right. Exactly.
Right.
So yeah, apparently that gun is going to be appearing in the live-action Mandalorian television series. It's a nice little throwback. It's
Well, I mean, with improper writing, they could. So, with they're spending enough time and effort, at least start off with a decent script and then there.
well, this is a TV series, so every episode will be a new script, and
Oops.
Hey, it was like the green screen back then.
like the green screen one.
The screen had gone green on here. I don't usually actors do a pretty good job with what they're given.
Right.
I usually kind of more fault the script writers and stuff. Materials to-
I rarely fault the actor. There are some cases I do, but usually when I'm faulting the actor, I'm also immediately echoing behind it. Somebody hired that actor.
Sometimes
Right.
it's a good actor and a bad director.
Right. But like Hayden Christensen, for example, who played Anakin,
The kid?
the adult version.
Adult. Yeah.
Well, and sometimes just the actor did a whole thing. I mean, there are some bad actors. It might just be that particular.
Right. Well, I've seen Hayden Christensen in other things later, and I'm like, nope, he's the same. It's kind of like
That's what I'm saying.
what's his name that plays Aquaman now,
Oh, crap.
who was
We
in
just talked
Stargate
about it.
Atlantis. He played the new
Yeah.
Conan. I don't think any of us are going to look at him and go, "What an incredible actor!"
No.
But
But the ladies will.
well, I don't think that's the acting they're watching.
Well, they're going to tell you that.
You know, and we've had that throughout all of history of acting. Sometimes people get put in there because they look good, and I
Absolutely.
accept that. I accept
I
that.
mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But man, he did great with because he knew he was not a good actor, and he worked with that shit. And
Well, but this guy might think that he's not a good actor. The guy that's playing Justice League. I don't know. Jason Momoa, I guess.
Thank you.
Yes, that's it.
But I mean, I don't know the man, so I don't know what his background is in acting. I mean, sometimes they're just looking for a guy that fits the build, and
I don't have
you
a
need a
problem
big
with
wrestler kind of guy.
yeah. I don't
The
have
Rock.
any problem with anything he has played.
No.
Because they work with what they have. They I don't feel like they've tried to put him someplace he can't go, acting wise. They never expect that much out of him. They're not looking for a great. You know, if we look.
Yeah,
at,
but I think in the Justice League movie, they amplified how bad that was, having him do. Just the lines that they gave him made it seem like it's even that much worse. Like he can't act.
I just laughed on cue and moved on from there with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But
he's
I see what you're
semi-funny and somewhat off the hook and off the chain, and I think that's the way he's come across in the role as Aquaman so far.
Yeah.
And I won't say it doesn't work. It plays okay.
Yeah, it's more the Yahoo. I'm gonna kick ass.
Right.
And I actually liked it more in the private scenes when they were inside the fishing pit, stuff like that.
I'll be
A
curious.
little less when he was kind of open and out in the public.
Right.
But we'll see how he is in the actual.
Right, and that's what I was getting to. Is I'm curious to see how he does in his standalone movie. But I've never been, oh God, not this guy. I've been like, no, he obviously it's not his strength, but he deadpans a line, and that's fine. It fits.
Either way, he gets paid.
He does.
But in a long movie like what he's going to be in, they can't just do sound bites, snippets, kind of.
They did with Christian Hayden in Jumper.
I don't know what that is.
It was a
Yeah,
great
true.
movie premise based after a book where they changed pretty much everything except for the most basic things from the book. But yeah, there was very little dialogue from Christian Hayden. It is Christian Hayden, not Hayden Christensen, right?
Christian Hayden. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, after watching the movie, I went, did anybody else get the feeling that they took away his dialogue and gave it to somebody else and he just answered with like one word? And a few other people agreed. I'm like, oh, there we go. And we've seen how much he's been in since then. So,
Right.
whereas Jason,
Oh, is that the cat?
that's the cat falling off the shelf. It's okay,
Oh,
fish.
black cat.
Yeah, he sleeping and falls off the shelf.
Uh-oh.
He's okay though. The shelf probably has a couple new scratches.
Oh, poor baby.
And Squirrel's
now she's
checking
gonna
out.
stick her nose in his butt.
Well, that's how you check and make sure they're okay.
Hey.
Okay, I see what it
It's also unique sometimes to see what how other people judge that. movies too. Because I mean, we're all biased towards certain things. I mean, there's some actors I just don't care for.
Right.
Doesn't mean that they're bad actors. It's just, I don't get it.
Right.
So you just kind of see how other people gave them favorable, negative reviews.
I've definitely found that with a few actors. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but you know what? Gene, what's his name, that did the Mel Brooks movies and Willy Wonka?
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
What about him?
I never thought he was that good of an actor or that good of a screen presence.
I like him.
Most people do.
I didn't
Yeah.
like the girl from Twilight. And I saw her in other things, like the Huntsman and Snow White or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all. I mean, she gets jobs, but
Well, most people agree with you, though. And nobody's sure how she gets jobs.
well, whatever.
$20 is $20.
You think she paid that much?
Yeah.
I think
Gotta get
that's
a
all they pay
paycheck.
her.
But there's people that people adore, like Chevy Chase. I'm not a big fan of his.
Same.
I like Saturday Night Live.
The guy from the golfing movie.
Bill Murray?
Bill Murray.
No, the younger guy.
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. I don't get it.
Mm.
You know.
I liked him on Saturday Night Live too. I like him.
I tell you one actor that most people, I'm careful who I say this around.
So say it for the world to know.
There
Yes.
we go. John Wayne, not a great actor. But
No.
But in the right role, he fit the role.
Right.
Or the role fit him.
Well, I think with him, he was a representation of like the manly man.
Right.
He wasn't cast for his acting. He was cast for his presence.
Right. Right. And I get that.
Keanu Reeves is kind of falls into that because he's
He
done
does.
a lot of different things. Now, this is a man that also donates a lot to charity and stuff too. So I like him as the person also.
Right.
So I think that sometimes bleeds over to I can tolerate him in some of the
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't really like his acting, but I do like a lot of the movies he's in.
Right. Well, like The Matrix, it fit his personality.
Right.
Bill and
Oh.
Ted.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, Bill, that's
John
what I'm
Wick.
saying. He's got a kind of a wide, diverse.
He got
Those
put
are
into the right
good.
roles.
But if you watch him
They
in
played to that.
the Shakespeare movie with Brian Blessed and Denzel Washington,
What is that?
Much Ado About Nothing.
Oh, I couldn't watch that.
Great movie. But Michael Keaton is great as the sheriff, the crazy sheriff, and the two lead roles, Kenneth Branagh and his wife at the time, who they're no longer married. But Keanu Reeves, I'm just like, why is he in this? It's not the role for him.
Right.
Yeah, I think anybody can be good in a certain role.
Right. Well-
Like the one I'm in. I have no lines. I just stand there with a gun. I am fabulous.
True story. It's John Wick 3 should be out soon.
It's not out already?
Mm.
1 and 2
I don't know.
is out.
I don't know. That's just a fun movie because you go around and shoot the shit out of people.
Yeah, I think you were away from the camera when we discussed that one, and yeah, that's exactly it. It's a 15 minutes of plot interspersed between action scenes.
Except for the dog thing. I
Yeah.
had to leave.
Andrea,
It's a typical action movie. I mean, it's really what it is.
yeah, while you
Not
were
there
gone,
for the acting.
we discussed James Bond, the Bourne movies, and John
John
Wick.
Wick.
Ah,
So we were just discussing the kind of the over-the-top action stuff and how John
well,
Wick.
that's back to where Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't just big Terminator, Predator kind of killing thing. So,
Oh, and the bad puns from his movies.
Yeah.
Then they tried to put him in a couple, heartfelt roles.
What is that, Kindergarten Cop or something?
His kindergarten cop. I tell you what,
Twins.
Twins was great.
I like Danny DeVito.
yeah.
Do you remember Twins, John? It's him and Danny DeVito are twins who are basically test tube babies from the same.
When they first started doing test tube babies.
Yeah, from the same jizz juice concoction, and Schwarzenegger was all the good stuff, and Danny DeVito was the extra crap.
Didn't get enough of the juice.
It was
Right.
Well.
funny as hell.
And basically Danny DeVito was dumped because he was a runt, and he was sent out into the real world, raised in an orphanage, and Schwarzenegger was raised on an island with all the best education and culture, and then they meet again later, when they're in their 30s and they have an adventure together. And
Don't they have a baby?
And Danny DeVito is smart.
no, that
That's
was
something else.
what was the one where Schwarzenegger got pregnant?
Hilarious.
You don't
I don't
remember
know.
that one, Ed?
I just remember that he was pregnant. That's all I remember. I'm like, where's it gonna come from? Okay.
She's looking up.
Discuss amongst yourselves.
Oh, Lord.
How about Running Man?
Were these movies from like the 80s?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I didn't see them.
yeah. You were busy.
I was making circles in the ocean or something.
You were fixing a stove hood while on a submarine.
No, it was not.
You just had to know it for the test. Yeah, I'm really. You gotta let me know the name of that movie. It's one word.
Yeah, hold on. Junior.
Junior.
Danny DeVito's in that too, that's why.
They get mixed up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're
that's
good
hilarious.
friends.
What's that?
They might be good friends. Maybe they get to these together. That's probably my overall weirdness I have with Hollywood. There's got to be somebody out there that's dad works somewhere that thinks that things are good ideas sometimes, because I don't know why they put out something. It's like no common sense. I don't get it.
Somebody has the money, they're gonna make it because they wanna. Kind of like us in this show. We do it because we want it. If people watch it, bonus.
There is
I
that.
don't
I
know.
think they do it
They're
for
spending millions of dollars.
If I had millions of dollars to do it, I would do it. It'd probably be the
Uh,
shittiest movie ever.
But you would probably show a little bit more earn into it. Those people are talking other people to invest in.
I can get other people to invest.
I had a company that called me about. It's called Addiction. It's about poker players, and but they're gambling with their life. And I had to tell them that's a comic book that's already been out. They go, what? And I said, yeah. Let me guess. The Dealer's the Grim Reaper. They go, how'd you know? They say, because it's just an idea. It's not a movie. I said, but yes, it's been done. They had like Minnesota Fats, but they called them something else. It was an old EC. And it's like, no, I don't want to invest in this. I don't care how cheap the budget is. No thanks.
They probably didn't think you knew of the comic.
They might not have known of the comic. It's not that hard of a concept.
They
to come up with.
didn't. And the thing was that, because I said, this is what's going to happen, and this is somebody gets a dead man's hand, and they go, yeah. I said, that's why I'm not investing in this, because it's already done. You're just changing the names. So. And they weren't even going to go out and get like Daniel Negreanu or some of the popular poker players at least to be in it.
Yeah, because that would draw a following there.
Oh, hold on a second. We got a comment from Adventures with Dad.
Oh, hey.
Good to see you, buddy.
Wasn't weren't they here yesterday?
Yeah, they were watching his game. He plays World of Warcraft with his girl. He says, hi, Tavern. I believe his name is Peter, if I'm not mistaken. As bad as the movies were and could never watch them again, they are still dear to my heart and nostalgic. You talk about the movies from the 80s there, Peter?
They were great at the time. Great at the time.
They were fun, stupid movies.
Mm-hmm.
And we enjoyed them. And but like Ed was talking about earlier, it's like going back and rewatching Xena or Hercules. They were great at the time, but now when you're watching them, you're like, ooh.
No,
Painful,
they were
man.
cheesy then. They're cheesy now. They're great.
They were cheesy then, but
I like them.
Saturday
But
morning at
technology
14.
tends to change your your breath on. Or
Probably.
I mean, if you go back and you look at Star Wars, my God. But at the time, that was kind of, new and unique when that was out. And you go back and you really look at it and go, that's a piece of cardboard with a bunch of blinking lights on it.
It's great. I can make a movie like that.
We don't have the budget for blinking lights. We're just going to have to paint buttons on the cardboard.
You just wait for the next storm.
Yeah.
They'll blink up.
There we go.
So,
It's good times.
I don't know. Technology is actually pretty neat that way. Stuff that we do, and we were looking into doing sound equipment and stuff like that. They don't need these huge studios that they had 20 years ago. You can do on your iPhone.
Right.
Right. Well, that's
This is a TV studio. This is the same camera that those guys used to plug around. Those big battery packs and stuff.
that's
It's
true.
just, so.
The batteries are the. We watched a television show, which is now on season 5, and we're on just started season 3, of the Goldbergs. And the main character is Adam Goldberg, who's actually the executive producer. So he's kind of going through his childhood in the 80s. And he was always lugging around his camera, his video camera. And taking little movies that he would make or filming his family, etc. And he has a lot of stories from this. And that's what the series essentially is.
And then they'll show some of the home movies that he did when he was younger, too.
Yeah.
They're funny.
And match them up to the stuff. But, you see a lot of that where, it was cheesy and stupid and... Oh, that's what your camera that you mentioned. Yeah, he mentions, back before everybody had a full movie studio in their phone, we had this monstrosity, and it shows the big home video camera that weighed 15, 16 pounds.
Well, and they also showed before, CDs and iPods, before iPods, they showed the first CD player that came out that was $900, and it was huge.
Yeah.
It's just great. It's a great show.
But this show is an example of starting on a low budget. And when we started, it was just recording podcast. Eric, I don't know who Peter is. Which one was Peter? Damn it. Sorry about that, Eric.
It's your other personality.
No.
Now you know.
Give me Eric. It's I'm just wondering. Peter was one of the people sent over by Sarah Phoenix, and once the name pops up, I'll rec. But anyhow, good to see you, Eric. How'd the gaming go with your girl this weekend?
He'll screw it up a few times, and then he'll get it right. It's okay.
Yeah.
Happens to everybody.
Lucy Lawless, beautiful woman, huh? Beautiful woman.
Stop eating the cardboard.
Like a train wreck, I'm guessing that's supposed to don't want to look away from. Or like a train wreck you want to look away from. I don't know. I think we all just still hope that her and Gabby hooked up at some point.
They did.
Andrea says with confidence, it happened. It's, wait, in the show or in real life?
Oh, in the show. Because they're characters, they're not real. Come on now, don't ruin it. I like that series.
Faded Rose, thanks for popping in and joining us. We are just discussing bad 80 movies that we loved anyway and TV series. Like Greatest American Hero.
Oh, I still like that. We have it, we watch it. And Wonder Woman. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can fantasize it.
By the way, Eric says, what about original Star Wars or Star Trek versus new Star Trek? Both are great, but the stories seem better on the old ones.
I like the old ones because that's what I grew up with.
I watched both, and I think that Next Generation had some better stories overall. Hard to say.
Well,
I mean, obviously one's more polished than the other. So.
Right.
But you cannot compare the aliens from that time. The dog with a horn stuck on his head and a part down the middle. That's an alien. That's like high-tech shit, though.
Well, and story then is based off of technology. So one's more and you had
that.
so any of the Star Trek after the original had to somewhat use previous stuff anyway to keep the continuity.
But I love what they did. You know, they used what they had.
Right.
Of course.
I love that.
And that's what we do now, but now we have a lot more.
And the
Ed,
Klingons.
were you trying to get attention there with your lean left, lean
Oh
right?
no! I was on the Enterprise. You know.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. It's
Well, the
And that
Klingons.
But look at Doctor Who that's been on such a long breadth of time. You know, has technology really affected the story aspect of it? And
not a lot, I guess.
not usually.
I think with the newer Star Treks, now I don't speak of Discovery because I haven't seen it, but I think with the original ones they showed, here's what we hope the future looks like. And with the modern ones, they're like, oh, here's our modern problems projected onto the future. And we're discussing our modern issues as opposed to hoping we've grown past that and dealing with other things.
This is why I like Orville. I'm very excited. It should be back in February.
Orville was great. Ed, did you ever watch it?
No.
Okay. Are you refusing to watch it? Okay.
No. I just gotta list this. This.
There's not many episodes, but I really liked where they were going with it.
I don't think the Discovery ever kind of was forced into this is a current issue and we're going to push it into the type thing.
Well, we haven't
See,
seen
like
that
Travis,
yet.
I haven't seen any of it. So.
I haven't seen Discovery either. I was referring more to DS9 and Voyager and Next Generation.
I like DS9.
Which Eric said.
Now, Voyager was the one with Janeway.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that tended not to be quite as much either, possibly. From what I remember, I didn't watch all the bits and pieces. It tended to be more of a, hey, we got to get out of the damn place.
Okay.
He's melting off of the ball.
A few comments over here on the screen. Eric, glad to hear it's. Andrew created a new gnome, and we're having fun with that also. Faded Rose says they definitely did in the show. And then Eric says, what about Conan? So I think Conan, the Schwarzenegger ones were actually, I was happy with them. I enjoyed them. Oh, you meant the movies, but yeah, I grew up on Next Generation. Okay, yeah, the movies, if we look at the movies.
Star Trek movies?
Yeah, the stories on those. I think
Okay.
the modern Star Trek movies are, they're made just to be an action extravaganza. They're not
I
meant
like
to be
them for
deep
what they
thinking.
are.
Yeah.
I like them for what they are. I'm not going to compare them to anything, but I like them for what they are.
Yeah, they're definitely not a deep storyline, though. That's all.
No, because if I ask you what the storylines would be able, most people wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah.
I could, but they're very simplistic storylines.
Well, yeah.
The only one I enjoyed was First Contact. That's the only one of them I really enjoyed.
Even out of the new 3 with Chris Pine in it?
The new 3. The first one. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: they're enjoyable to watch them through it, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not
Memorable.
epic. You don't remember. I mean,
Exactly. The
3
other
months
two
down the
was
road, you
with-
don't remember anything about. It's
Mhm.
okay to while you're watching it. But it's like,
It's like a snack.
Yeah. Where I feel like the original crew movies, they definitely tried to address bigger issues and larger
Mhm.
story points.
absolutely.
But
Yeah,
even the Next
Whale thing.
Generation movies, yeah, not a lot of big story there.
Mm-mm.
They did better stories in the season 3 to season 4 story arcs with the cliffhanger of the Klingon Empire or the Borg attack on
Right.
Earth. Those were better than the damn movies.
Yeah.
there's just not memorable moments and stuff that you,
Right.
I think, in the current movie. You know,
So because-
Wrath of Khan. You know, it's like got all kinds of things that you remember from that. Somebody stuck a bug in my ear. It's like one
Oh,
of
yeah,
those
I
things.
remember that.
Hard to forget these things.
I forgot it until now, thanks.
Oh.
Which, by the way, when they did that shot, if I'm not mistaken, it was like a 3 or 4 foot ear
It was a big ear.
that they did it with, and they still have the prop at the studio. So
But that's how you make memorable
it is.
things
Oh, yeah.
to kind of stay with.
So did we want to address Conan? Do you guys have opinions on Conan besides the Jason Momoa one, which I fell asleep in?
Oh, was he Conan?
The latest one, yeah.
I haven't seen it.
But even things for actors that are, let's say, in the Conan vein, look at the Hulk.
Right.
I mean, they morph him into that great big thing, but there's memorable moments. What he did to Loki, you won't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that
I mean,
was
but those are good, memorable moments and I think that's why the Avengers movie and a lot of the new Marvel tend to be, people talk about them past movies, even though the story, again, is very simplistic. They have enough memorable moments in there that you just remember these
Well,
things.
one thing about those movies is you have the movie story arc, but each character tends to have their own smaller personal arc,
Right.
and there is
And
growth
that's
and
what-
movement.
Well, and that's what made the first X-Men movie really, at least they thought it out. They gave this character this much time, this character this much time. Got to know who all the people. Each of them became in the second movie. Oh, now we have money. It tended to lose a lot of that. So you
Yeah.
weren't really attached to any. Let's just throw them all in there and throw some.
Part 2, the
They're
only
on
thing I
top of it.
remember is Nightcrawler, and not
I
much of
liked
that.
him. Well, because he had a backstory.
Right. And part 3,
I don't remember which one that was.
it's the one where they're curing
See?
mutants, and you had Angel in the
That's
hospital,
why.
and then, yeah, then they moved the Golden Gate Bridge using Magneto.
Yeah. Nah.
So we have a couple minutes till the wrap up of this show, so let's do a closing toast, and then we'll talk about what's going on afterwards here. Here's to just weighing in on random crap. Hmm?
Here's to sharing the night.
Next
Here's
week.
to Shia LaBeouf. Huh?
Don't we have a guest next week for movie stuff?
I don't know. I don't think any guest was ever confirmed.
About movie props or something. Okay. I don't know, but next week's movies, right?
Yeah, next week is the props versus CGI, so we'll be talking about a lot of this. We said the S word. Which one was the S word? Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
Pretty cool. Oh yeah.
It's are we going on and playing after this?
I am.
We're playing.
I don't know if we're on or not, but I'm.
We're gonna be playing World of Warcraft after this, but I'm gonna take a short break to refill my drink and whatnot.
I'm gonna take care of the cat before.
So I'll put on a video for everybody that'll keep you guys amused till we get back. So hang out and we'll do more conversation.
Hopefully, I'll hit level 20.
But I
Are
want
you going to take care of the cat on air?
Not like that.
I'll stick around.
to.
Oh my god.
We're gonna have to go to.
Catastrophe.
That's a different streaming service, sir.
Oh, okay.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. John, we will see you
I'll see you
Thursday night.
Thursday.
Well, I'll see you
I'll be on
at the
Thursday.
shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrea will see you in person. Then we'll all see you on Andrea's channel. Which, by the way, for those of you, in case you haven't followed, on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, we do tabletop role playing on Andrea's channel. So check that out. A lot of the same crew and good times. Ed, good luck at work, buddy. Oh, what the hell did I just click?
Mm.
I'm going to do some outro music, and you guys have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Thanks for joining us in the discussion shenanigans tonight. You're the one thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning, and be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every night.
Are you dancing?